This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and this is Friday evening, March 22nd, 2019. Hi, Aunt Beck. Hello. Aunt Beck, I did not get a lot of videos watched today, but I got yours watched. I didn't get a comment left. I skipped to another video, but I have to tell you, it's been a busy week and I've been really tired, and don't tell anybody. Shh, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I until just about 5 after 7 this evening, and I'm going, I better wake up. This is Friday night. The house is really quiet. My brother went up to visit his son and his grandson. So it's been really quiet, and I fell asleep. So I need to watch all the Spring Hop videos. Oops. Well, the internet's been kind of splotchy here today, so I would not be surprised if we have a lot of buffering. So just kind of expect that. Hello to everybody who's coming in. Hi, Christy, Elena, Aunt Beck. Yeah, Sherry, I think sometimes I've had her in other hops where she did not get her link in right away. I think the deal is she takes care of grandkids or babysits or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yeah, I just hopped to the next one. I couldn't get to hers either. Hi, Lynn and Barb. Hi, Barb. Elena, Janet. Hi, Janet, my lady, and Kendra and Suze. Okay. Holly. Hi, Holly and Laura. Welcome, everybody. Well, what I generally do while people are coming in is I've been working in my angel and art book. It's sitting full. I still have some pages to paint yet. But I thought I'd do this page today. Let's see. I got to push it this way. Yeah. And I'm still a little tired. I feel like I just woke up. I feel guilty sleeping during the day like that. Where's my... Oh, my paint's behind my... There it is. Okay. And then I need a brush. I kind of know what I want to do. Let's use this one. But I'm awake now. Yeah, the house has been quiet. I went out urban sketching this afternoon. And if you look at my community tab, you'll see the 2 sketches that I did. I have to figure out a setup with my new phone. I tried to film, and I tried to film live. I did some unlisted lives, and, well, they didn't quite, as far as the setup goes, you didn't quite see everything. You saw my steering wheel in my lap, and it was jerky, but it surprised me because I was in our county seat there, but I was expecting, I was using Verizon, and I was expecting it to turn off on me. And the second one, I think it did. But I got one done for 30 minutes, and I thought that was good. So I might just go back to filming, but I have to figure out my setup for my urban sketching is set up for my old phone, and my new phone is not quite the same. I had put Velcro on the back of the case of my old phone, and I don't want to do that with my new phone isn't really new anymore, but I don't want to do it with the new phone. I hit the camera with my paintbrush. I'm sorry. So I am definitely thinking, got urban sketching on the brain. It's been one of those days. It was a beautiful day here in Nebraska. which was nice because maybe it'll dry up a little of that extra water we got. I guess it's really been bad for some people. There's a gal who stopped by our house today. She wanted some pictures that my brother had. And we were talking, and she was saying that some of the people up their way, she lives up by Grand Island, and she was saying some of them up that way, the Platte River runs through Grand Island, through that part of central Nebraska. And she was saying they lost everything. And that's so sad. So keep those folks in your mind, in your hearts and prayers. I'll look at chat here in a minute after I get done doing this. I kind of like to do this reverse collage in gold around these pages while folks come in. And then the other thing that surprised me, I was just about ready to turn my phone off where I was urban sketching, and Barb Owen came on. Barb Owen came on, and I go, oh, I got to watch Barb. I said, I'm going to just kind of swoosh that on here. I'm going to see how long it lasts, because I drove home, and I live about 8 miles from that little town. It's our county seat. And lo and behold, Barb Owen kept me company all the way home. I just listened. I set my phone over in the driver's seat. Over in the rider's seat. And I just listened to her chatting. She mostly said hello to folks coming in, talked about the nice day that they're having. Okay. I really don't have a lot of plans for what I'm doing tonight. I don't have the list made out because I was tired, but I kind of know what I'm doing tonight, sort of. The bank book. Let's take a look at chat and see what you guys are talking about. Oh, Barb said she was washing the bathroom walls. Oh, you should have left those walls dirty and listened to Barb. Hi, Trisha. Welcome. Super Beth. How are you doing, lady? Welcome, Super Beth. Hi, Anya. Great heart is Anya. Kathy's Crafting Friends. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Journey. Hi, Journey. Welcome, welcome. Holly's in here, Journey. Oh, you will allow that? Well, I don't know what she's allowing, but Janet, let's see. Journey says hello. Holly says, hi, Janet. No phone calls, please. Camera is now gold. I had to clean my camera off. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little blue left on here, a little metallic blue left on the back. Oops. I'll have to get some kind of a baby wipe to get that off or something. Hi, Linda. It's his mom. They don't crab. I don't. You're doing great. That's good. Yay, super. That's super, Beth. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. I was reading messages and I turned my phone over about the phone is now go was where I was. That's what Barb said. I had a weird week last week. I did an impromptu on Monday, but Tuesday I didn't, but I did in the after. I did an impromptu Tuesday afternoon. Wednesdays, I have to tell you all, Tuesday and Thursday mornings and Friday nights are my consistent streams. Everything else I do is impromptu, and it is subject to my day. If I'm awake that early in the morning, if I do impromptus on the weekdays, I will do them at 4:30 in the morning. Except on Tuesday, I did it in the afternoon. I wanted to see if I could squeeze in one really fast because I missed my morning stream. So if you don't see me streaming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Saturday, real early in the morning. Don't worry about me. I'm sleeping. So, hi, Tina. Welcome. Welcome, Tina. And Laura and Alina and Christy. I think I'm up to everybody again. I did, Barb, I posted in the community tab. Is that what you're talking about, of my urban sketching? I posted on the community tab. Or what are you talking about? Oh, Aunt Beck. You're talking to Aunt Beck. Well, of course. Aunt Beck did a mandala on black paper with white with Barb. All right. Well, yes, Aunt Beck, you have to post it. Aunt Beck said, I did. All right. Okay. Well, I wanted to show you my bank book. I think I showed this in my early morning, but I'm getting done with my bank book, and I did not find the chain that I wanted to put on here, but I found this gold chain. And that's just put on with glossy accents. I'm so happy with how that turned out. And then I've got some of those little brass charms that I got a week or so ago on there. So that turned out nice. And then this is just one of those book bands with the buttons on it. But I thought what I'd do tonight is go ahead and, well, I'll start on it. I'm going to collage down I got this ribbon. Isn't that pretty? I think Nana Mo sent this to me. There's bees on it. There's bees. I think they're bees. So I'm going to put that in here someplace. I'm just going to, well, let's put it over here for now. Let's just put it there. This is the only page I have left here to do. And this is going to be the introduction page. All these other pages are finished. I promised Jerry I would do a flip, a standalone flip. So what I'm going to do tonight is I have some newspaper. I have newspaper. Oh, and I have to say, if you go to either Tanya or my Tanya at This, That, and Chat, Lisa at Lisa My Eclectic Life, my channel, Aunt Beck, who else participated? Some that I'm not familiar with. But look for our hashtag Spring Hop videos, and we did a Spring Hop video hop today. And if you go to Jerry's channel, Denia, and I think that the art bar, I think her live stream hop might still be going. I have no problem with them streaming while I'm streaming, because a lot of people all over the world are streaming while I'm streaming. I say that several times. Nobody owns the internet. So, and I trust that the people who come to my channel while somebody else is streaming really want to be here. Or if you don't want to be here, if you'd rather go watch another channel, or if you have the capability to watch both channels at once. But I started watching... Well, I watched Jerry's live stream this morning, Jerry at Recycle Parts for Art. I watched hers, and I started watching another one, but then I wanted to go out. We had company this morning, and then I wanted to go do some urban sketching. So that kind of took up my day. I came home and I ate supper and I fell asleep. So, but there's that. Those videos will be out there. I'm going to collage down some of this newspaper in the background. I was hoping there was still some of that bank, but I might have bank information. Oh, look. Saturday, November 13th, 1909. Dissatisfaction in Nebraska. The returns from the recent election in Nebraska show that the Republican candidates for the Supreme Court Justice won by a small margin of 2,000 votes. This caused friends of Mr. Bryan to believe that in the present temper of this, it would be a good policy for Mr. Bryan to become a candidate for U.S. Senator next year. Nebraska is one of the states in the Midwest that is dissatisfied with the Aldrich-Payne tariff bill. Huh. I'll have to look up and see. This is old news, but it was political news in 100 years ago. Well, actually 110 years ago, because this is 1909. Nebraska is one of the states in the Middle West that is dissatisfied with the Aldrich-Payne tariff bill. And nothing changes. Nothing changes. And it would not be at all surprising if this dissatisfaction manifested itself in the election of a Democratic legislature next fall. 1909 politics. Well, that's how newspapers. Oh, here's the letters. All right, I just had to bore you with politics. It's not current politics. We don't talk current politics here, but 119 years ago, this says, "You do beat the band," she cried. You've watched. I don't know why I cut that out. I think it just happened. I'm looking for some bank information. Honorable J.E. Barrett is the postmaster. Local notes. And I don't have a lot out here because this is all what I cut through, and I don't want to cut up another one yet. But let's see if there's something on this. If there isn't anything on this, then I will. How to keep young, United States money. There are 10 kinds on Uncle Sam's official list. All are not legal tender. So it's talking about money there. Well, answer this question. Talking about trying to sell you some medicine. Well, I don't see anything. So I think I'm going to use this. We will just use this. Talking about the Davis Cup. Let's see. I'm going to cut this out. I'm just going to collage this down and set it aside to dry, and then we'll move on to something else. But I want to get this first page done. I like to answer this question. I like that. So what's on the back here? Yeah, that's okay. I want this. And after I get this cut out, I'll check chat again, see what you're all chatting about. Hi, Tanya. Oh, you're never late. You never have to apologize about being late. Tanya, I watched some of the spring hop, but then I fell asleep, so I have to go. I have to go watch the rest of the spring hop. Today was a perfect day to sleep here in Nebraska. I don't know about you folks, but I glory in her spunk. Let's just cut this all about. I don't know who this is all about. Don't seem quite familiar. Let's just cut it here. I don't know. See, it says, I reckon you've heard about the old song about a woman being as old as she looks, while a man is just as old as he feels. Well, there's some truth in that distinction, for looks have a whole lot more to do with a woman than a man. But all the same, it's the feeling that counts in the long run. So we're just kind of trimming. I'm going to collage this stuff down. That's why I'm cutting this out. And then I'll move on. But let me put this paper aside here. So there's a lot going on the internet today. There's a lot going on the internet. I might double this up a little. But let's go ahead and... Yeah. Yeah, Sherry's video is not showing. Yeah, they're just letting Tanya know. No rest for the wicked here today. Yeah, yeah, Tanya, I'll bet you are busy today. Lisa says, I've watched a little of it too. Finish tomorrow. Probably get through Jerry and part of Meri, and I had to unplug for the storm. Did you have another storm down that way, Lisa? Oh, my goodness. Let's just turn the bad. That's the one thing I don't like about. I love spring, but these spring storms. Oh, no. Yes, you can, Tanya. Absolutely. Mom's birthday. Yes, absolutely, Tanya. Chat away. Lisa says, still thunderstorms, but the tornadoes and hail are gone. You had tornadoes? Oh. Yes, Tanya asked, she says, can I mention Mom's birthday? Absolutely. Absolutely, Tanya. Let me get a piece of wax paper while she's doing that. And I took a diet sort with me while I was sketching, and I didn't even open the can, so I opened it when I got home, but I fell asleep and I didn't get it all consumed, so excuse me while I take a sip of pop. My favorite pop, if I have to drink pop, is Squirt because it quenches my thirst. Tanya says, if you would like to send my son, my soon-to-be 88-year-old mother, a card for her birthday, would love it so much. I meant to mention it last Sunday and forgot. So, Tanya, did we send it to you? How do we get it to her? If we want to send her a card, will you post the address in your group? We would love to send her a card. If you need her address, it is posted in the group or message Tanya. Okay, there you have it. I need to get out tomorrow to go to the bank and to the post office, so I will put a card in the mail for her. How fun. If we get this all done, she'll have a nice... When's her birthday? When is her birthday? Next week sometime? Soon to be 88, so I assume that it's coming up in the next week or the next couple days. Yeah, Tanya, Sherry, if I remember right, when I did when we had the demonetization issue, and I hosted video hops to help the smaller channels, 2 or 3 of them. That was several months ago. But Sherry does a lot of babysitting, and for some reason or another, she's away from the area where she can schedule or whatever. So, or she, you know, so I have a feeling that's what happened with Sherry. I don't know that for sure, but that's been my past experience. Let's see, what else is going on? Tanya says, no rest for the wicked. Well, that means you can go rest, Tanya, because you're not wicked. So we'll just let the wicked have their activity, and you go put your feet up for a while. You probably had a very busy couple of days here. Let's see. Yeah, the hop is going on, and also the art bar. Dania is doing a video hop today. So if you haven't caught that yet, I'm sure that it's still going on out there. So you might be able to watch some, you can watch videos all weekend. Just put your feet up and watch videos all weekend. I have to get out tomorrow. Maybe I'll do some more thrift. I can't bring home any more stuff. if I bring home any more stuff, my brother will kick me out of this house. He'll put me out and he'll put all my junk out on the sidewalk and say, free to whoever wants it. Oh, dear. I have to be careful, though, how much stuff I get. But, boy, I'll tell you, there's no fun like going thrifting. There's no fun like going thrifting. However, I'd love to get up to that one thrift store where I saw that $4 skein wool and just get me one skein just to play with. Maybe two. That would be $8 for yarn. Well, $8 for two of them would be just about what one of them cost retail. So, hi, Violet. Welcome, welcome. Lisa says, I am now able to just enjoy hearing the thunder and knowing we are getting some much needed rain. As long as it doesn't break the trash bag we have over the opening of the chimney. I can just visualize your house. I can just see a little picture of your house with the chimney sticking up with a trash bag with a big old rubber band on it. Oh, Lisa, you're funny. Let's see. Journey's in the house. Barb is here. Barb Fillion is here. Holly's in the house. I haven't seen Beth come in yet. She was taking care of little... Hi, Zoe. I see you out there. Welcome. She was taking care of Bandit this week. She said she'd bring him back. She said she posted or even I saw her in a chat or something, and she said little Bandit's been very good this week, been playing with the dogs and the kitty cat. So that kind of surprised me. Did she say it in one of my early streams? I think. She said Bandit's been very good. Let's see. I don't want to miss saying hello to anybody. I think it's very important to welcome you all here. For me, seeing you come in here and saying hello to you, it's like you're coming over to my house for Friday night. And if you walk in my front door, I'm not going to ignore you. I might miss you. I might fall over some people getting to you. But, I want to say hello to people. Lisa said, hi, Mary. Hi, all. We just got out from underneath of a tornado warning so I could get back on. Is Spanky in here? Spanky, you were in the chat too, weren't you? Let's see. It says Spanky. Hello, Spanky. I haven't seen her. Aunt Beck, Lynn, Holly. All right. Let's see what's going on down at the current chat. Oops, Mary. Jeff said he's getting a dumpster. Don't give my brother any ideas. Don't give him any ideas. But I do have to be careful how much stuff I do bring in now, because I really have a lot that I can use. In fact, once a month I go shopping and at where Hobby Lobby is, and I can go into Hobby Lobby. And when I first moved down here, I left a lot of my art, like paint and paint brushes, and a lot of that I left in Madison. So I kind of had to replenish. I'm always getting these black markers, but I'm getting to the point now that I can go into Hobby Lobby and be a little bit more choosy. I don't have to. I usually pick up a fine line paint applicator, and I check out everything as they had 40% off on Tim Holtz stuff. So I'm grabbing, I go once a month, and I usually grab a package of those paper dolls, because at one point they're going to stop printing them and I'm going to miss them. I sure hope they put out some more. Let's see what else. Jerry's in here. Hi, Jerry. Jerry, the yarn that I saw at the thrift store was hand spun in Nebraska. And in fact, when Aunt Beck was doing one of her thrift hauls, she had gotten some yarn, and she pulled out some wool yarn, and it had a Nebraska label on it. And I know it's wool, but it's a Nebraska spun yarn. It's probably gone by now, but they had several skeins of it. Oh, probably about 8 or 10. But they were selling them at the thrift store for $4 a piece. And when I saw them, I said, well, I really can't. That's $32. I can't spend that for yarn. So I didn't get them. And now I regret it because that was before I started my practice knitting. So that's the yarn, Jerry. And Jerry, welcome. Jerry, congratulations on your live stream this morning. You did an excellent job. Jerry is moving. They sold their house, their big house where they have moved out of, and they sold it, but now they have to get things cleaned up and ready for the closing. And Jerry pulled a disc or something in her back, so she could not do a lot. She could not move around a lot this morning. And I hope that heals up for you fast, but you did a good job. And I was laughing, Jerry, because it's spring hop, and Jerry used an old bed spring, an old, one of those old bed springs that put mattresses on. Nowadays we have box mattresses. But I had a laugh because Jerry did a very unique very unique take on the word spring. She used a bed spring, and she made a doll, called her Sassy Sally or Sassy Susie. I can't remember. Anya says, Mary, we call it op shopping. Yeah, you call them op shops, OP shops, op shops. It took me a long time. I think somebody in Australia was talking about, I didn't know what an op shop was. So they say, oh, it's like your thrift stores. So Violet's here. Barb was right. I cannot stop on the mandala. I don't do mandalas and I don't do coloring, mostly because I don't think I have the patience you all have to sit there and color within the lines. If I started on something like that, I could tell you no time at all, I would be turning that into a painting. I would be splashing paint on in my color book, which may not be a bad idea. I won a color book from Beth Schuler and her 100 subscriber contest. But since I do not, that was last week, since I don't do a lot of coloring, I gave it away again on this channel because I just didn't feel right. I won Aunt Beck's 2,500 subscriber. So I should have taken it and splashed paint in it. Let's see. Oh, the bunnies. Bunnies. And Lisa said they have bunnies. Is that bunnies? Let's see. Lisa says, Tanya, Wednesday mom asked me to come over and look through some buttons. Well, here's the thing. Buttons. I'll give you a hint. We're going to do a list tonight, and buttons are on the list. Kind of giving away my list, but I have a list with a twist tonight. It's connected with my little story. So I'm glad you guys are talking about buttons. So we're going to do a button list tonight. Jerry says, oh, nice, 100% wool. What do you want to make? Well, Jerry, I'm thinking, because I want to do begin knitting, and I was thinking maybe a scarf. It's gray, and I wouldn't be able to wear it till next winter, but I might not get it done until next winter if I get it done. But I thought it would be fun. I probably will not. It's probably gone by now, because there has to be somebody who recognizes the value of that yarn. I wish I would have. That's one of the instances when you go thrifting. And I think Aunt Beth mentioned that she saw something and she wished she would have gotten it and she put it back. And same with me with that yarn. I wish I would have put at least one skein in my basket, but I was being frugal. So I'm thinking a winter scarf, or maybe I don't want to do slippers with that nice of wool. So I'm not advanced enough to do a sweater. I could do a shawl. A shawl would be really pretty. I might do that with. There's a lot of yarn upstairs that my brother's significant other did a lot of crocheting, and left a lot of yarn. It's just like Red Heart yarn, but it's upstairs. I probably go up and get that, and that's what I was thinking then. Let's see. What are you talking about? Hey, it's a spring. Aunt Beck said, cannot wait to see it. Jerry, they're talking about Jerry's live stream. Hi, Kathy Whitney. She's cooking dinner. Oh, okay. You know, Kathy, I understand if you're listening in or but Aunt Beck comes on right at our dinner time here because we're an hour behind her. And I'm either just getting dinner done or I'm just cooking it or my brother calls me for supper. And sometimes I don't get into Aunt Beck's like I would like to. So I get it. Yeah, Tanya, it's not that I don't like it. I appreciate other people coloring, but I don't think I have the patience. I'm not. I love and I know there's a lot I could learn about blending and coloring and all of that, but I don't have the patience to sit there and fill in all those boxes. I can tell you right now, if I was coloring like a circle, I would be putting paint on it and doing something like that. Journey says, I have to go watch your hop, Jerry. Yeah, you all have to go to Jerry's channel, but after my live stream, it's out there. Barb says, well, take care. I'm sending healing prayers. I don't know who that's for, but healing prayers going out for those who need it. Don't forget, if you are in Tanya's group or if you message Tanya, want to send her mother a birthday card, you can message Tanya McGuire and get the address. Card shower for Tanya's mother. A happy birthday card shower. Yeah, the hop videos will stay up. They're saying hi to Sharon. Sharon. Hi, Arlene. Welcome. Which Sharon came in? I missed Sharon. Sometimes I miss them. I see you all saying hello to them, but I don't see them. Which Sharon came? Oh, Sharon Lombard. There she is. Hi, Sharon. Sharon, I was looking at your little criminal drawing you sent me, and you really did an excellent job on him. I was looking at him today when I was doing my sketching and going, wow, she really did an excellent job. You nailed him. He's in my March Art Journal. When I get it out, I'll show it to you all. But let's see. They're saying hi to Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Yeah. Tanya says she's going to kick herself for not buying the red file folders the other day. Yeah, if you see those things and you're debating, if it's a whole stack of them, at least take 2 or 3. Like there had to be 8 or 10 skeins of that yarn. And I know there were at least 8, and I just couldn't afford all that at once. But I wish I would have taken 1 or 2 of them. And then I wouldn't kick myself so bad. You did not like to color as a child. I don't remember coloring as a child. I know we had color books. My mother, what I remember most about the color books were the 50 states. You know, I think Hawaii and Alaska were fairly new states when I was a child. And we had all those color books. And those are the ones I remember. I don't remember a lot of coloring books. But I know we got Crayolas every school year, at least the box of 16. So I probably did color, but I don't remember a lot of it. The mandala is just doing your doodles in a circle. Yeah, that I'll have to, but you do them so nice and neat. That's it. When I do doodles, I can make mistakes. I would have a very crooked, lopsided, very distressed mandala. Maybe I'll do a distressed mandala someday. Send Barb Owen into what is Meri doing? That circle is flat. Her fire is flat. Her mandala is flat. Put some air in it. Let's see. Arlene says, since I only get to go to the thrift store 2 or 3 times a year, I put everything that I can use in my cart, and if I don't use it, I give it away in Happy Mail. Now there's the philosophy for you. All right, Arlene, smart thinking. she had to buy the box. I don't remember the box, Tanya. Did you show it? I probably missed it. I adored my colored chalk on my play box chalkboard. I always remember the first box of colored chalk. Yeah, I think I remember colored chalk, a little of it. Barb said you just roll with the mistakes. I like to watch Barb a lot, though. Now, when she did those family relatives of hers, her little art, little portrait book that she did out of watercolor spots and everything. The box of red folders. Okay, I think I'm up with chat. Welcome everybody who came in, and let's tear this in half. I do want to get this bank book finished, and I'm not going to do a flip tonight, but I'll try to get a flip done. And I have to tell you, who was it that did a spontaneous? Becky. She did that impromptu video of a pick 10, and I worked along with her, and I filmed it. But my film, they told me in my live stream last week that the live stream was very blurry, and I don't know what was causing it. I do not know what was causing that. And when I filmed that pick 10 with Aunt Beck, it was horrible blurry. So if that happens tonight, I have a feeling, when I was watching videos earlier today, now it may have been because I had my phone out, my phone that I'm using right now out, doing my live streams of testing urban sketching, that perhaps maybe, you know, I overheated it or something. I can't run this phone on a live stream on Verizon for longer than a half hour, 45 minutes, or it gets hot. So, review of reviews. Well, I'm just going to, I'm just going to put this down. I want to get that some odds and ends of interest in here. This newspaper that I'm using, I got from Jerry Bellini at Recycled Parts for Art. Sometime last year, was it, Jerry? I can't remember. It was last year or the year before. I got this huge composition book from her. And she wasn't going to, it had news when they bought it at wherever they purchased it. They do a lot of bargain hunting and flea markets and everything. But it had all these old newspapers in it. And there's a lot of brittle edges to it. But she was going to throw them away. No, Jerry, no, Jerry, no, Jerry, no. Send them to me. I'll pay the postage. And so she did. Bless her heart. And look, money in junk. Look, money in junk in this newspaper. The stuff is always in demand and the profits are large. Up and down the dirty black alleys, drives the junk man singing. The junk man. Up and down the dirty back alleys drives the junk man, singing his mournful nasal cry, loading his rickety wagon with broken scraps and pieces of old iron, an object of pity or ridicule to most of the uninformed public. Let him be admired or envied, rather, for if not, he himself, at least his employer, is probably making more money than 9 out of 10 professional men. Few things are more depressing and unsightly than a little pile of junk as high as a 2-story building. One may see such piles in every city, and so far as the casual observer can determine, none of the stuff is ever moved. The piles increase, apparently, from month to month and grow rustier and rustier. But the men in business keep on buying. And then it goes on and on and on. There's money in junk. See, it said so in 1909. I'm going to save that. That's fun. That is fun. Do I have enough here? I do. Yay. We don't call it junk today. Well, we do because we've got a totally junk journal. But it never goes out of style. No. There's money in it. Let's see what's going on here in chat. You can see the composition covers in my Etsy shop. I really want to make something with one, and Meri has one too. She's talking about those huge composition books. They're huge. They're at least 24 inches high. Do you know the exact measurements of the composition books? They're huge. They're huge. They cover my whole desk. Hi, paintbrush. Dirty paintbrushes in the house. It's old newspapers from Philly in these amazing old composition books. It's Archibald. Is Archibald? It's Archibald. The newspaper's the Archibald Citizen. It must be a suburb of Philadelphia. Let me get rid of my notifications. Yeah, and that's what I've used throughout this book. I've only used a few pages. I think I pulled out maybe 5 pages where I've been cutting and tearing from. Holly's in the house. Dirty paintbrush. A Meri version of a mandala. You guys, you'd probably tell on me to Barb. 23 inches by 17 inches. Thank you. Yeah, she has some in her Etsy store, Jerry. Jerry does, Journey. Jerry has some in her Etsy store. Journey said, "Are you selling them?" And Jerry's selling them. Oh, let's see. Okay, I think I'm up with chat. Let's get this done, Meri. I'm just chattering away. Chatter, chatter, chatter. And I'm just going to use glue. All I'm going to do right here, right now, is glue down the pages, collage them down, and then we'll set this aside to dry. It doesn't take long once I get what I have to tell you. Getting them, figuring out what I want is is the worst. Jerry, were you in here? Were you in here when I showed the cover of my book? Have you seen the cover of this yet? What I did with the necklace and the here. Let me plunge this down and then I'll show it again. And I have to say, I have been using my lid of this is a pickle jar lid. This is a pickle jar as my glue pot. But I have been doing like this to get the air bubbles out. And that works. I think that works pretty good. Now, I don't have a flat surface on here, but it's this motion here. And let me put the wax paper on it because I think that I would just as soon use this as to use my credit card to smash the air out, the air bubbles out. Allie's in the house. Hi, Allie K. Jerry, here's what I did to the cover. I put a necklace. A chain link necklace around here. I think you can see it. And then I have some of the chains. It was a broken one. And I put some charms on there. And then it falls down here. I don't have anything on that yet. I've got to get something on that. Just hangs down. And this is a paper clip. You've probably seen this. And I use some glossy accents to glue the paper clip down and to kind of attach these little broken pieces of jewelry. I'm pretty sure that these broken pieces of jewelry came from Jerry too. I know this one did, this disco ball type thing. I got some broken jewelry from Jerry a couple months ago. So that was fun. But let me go back to this here. And let me do the other page while I'm chattering away here. Chatter, chatter. And let's see. I want to do this. Answer. Let's see. I think I want to tear it right about in here. Right about there. Right about there. Because I want the great memorial to Washington. I was going to try to find another bank advertisement because there's always, and I noticed there's several Archibald Bank advertisements in this paper, but I didn't want to rip out another paper. So I'm just using this, odds of interest, some odds and ends of interest in here. And then I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I want to put an introduction page. I'll do that off camera. My book, of course, is not flat anymore, so let's see. And then I want to save that. I had this, well, this doesn't quite fit over here, but you know what I think I'll do is I glory in her spunk. I think I'll tear this right here, right in here. And I'm going to take her and put her over here, and then I'm going to, well, you'll see. So I have to say it's kind of warm in here tonight. My brother leaves during the winter. He sets the furnace for 74. It's 74 in here all the time, but I'm right beside a heat register. Oh, I want to move that down a little. Well, not too much because I want the glory in her spunk there. I'm going to have to trim this. I'm going to have to trim it. But okay. So be it. So be it. And then I'm going to put this extra text over here. And then I'll put that other picture in between. Kind of patch this up. Yeah. Answer this question. And then I got this picture of this lady keeping young here. I don't know how much I need of it. Looks pretty good. I think I'll put it right over this. Because I'm going to be putting a note over this. I'm going to be putting an introduction to my journal in here. And I'll do that off camera. There. Now I need to tear this off. And with this old paper, it's not too hard. It tears pretty easy. Pretty easy. There we go. Now, I'll set that aside. I'm saving this about the money in the junk. I think the rest of it is over here. Where was it? Money in junk. No, I cut it out. I cut it out, but that's okay. I'll just save that little money in the junk. In fact, let's put it on my bank page. While I'm here, I do have one page that relates to the bank and Archibald, and this is a bank book. It's inspired by Lisa and Tanya's bank book project. And Jerry, do you have any more? Are you still in here? Do you have any more bank books in your Etsy shop? I think she said she had one or two left if you're interested. Jerry was selling the bank books, but I wanted to use this one because I wanted to use my newspapers. But I figured these all came from Jerry, so I didn't think she'd mind. I'm going to put this, there's money in the junk article over here. This is my bank page here. All right. So I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. And it'll be all ready to, write my little introduction and put in there. It's kind of warped right in here, but that's because I got this loopy earring in there. So I'm not working on an even surface here. All right, let's set it aside, let it dry, put the lid on my glue pot before I spill the glue. There we go. All right, let's move along, Mary. Let's move along. We got 2 things done tonight. I don't have a list. So, and I did that thrift haul the other morning, but I don't know if you guys saw it all. I think my video was bad. I'll show you a few things I got at the thrift store. I got this 2 squares of quilt fabric, and I was thinking I'd take them off of the batting, but this one's quilted down. So this might be a padded, and it's got all sorts of pins in it. So it looks like they were quilting it, but the other one's not quilted down yet. It's just set there. So I might be able to put this in one of Lisa's fabric pages or something when I get to that. So that only cost me 99 cents. And this is from last week. I've already done a thrift haul on this. I should do something with these. Maybe I will in my next week's stream. These are Easter candy molds. There's the little bunnies and little, what is these? These are lambs here in the center, some eggs. These are little squares with chickies on them. Flower here, a flower there. Looks like a bunny rabbit there. So I got that. I got these Stampin' Up! Stamps for $3. I really need some word stamps, and I'm glad I got these. There are more candles. The more candles, the bigger the wishes. You're never more than a thought away. So I'm glad I got those. I got some toile fabric for $1.50. I paid too much for this. I paid $1.99 for this. I thought it was 99 cents. I didn't see the one. I think $1.99 was too much for this, but there you go. I got a lot of other bargains. And then, oh, I know I showed this in my morning stream because I was showing them this, is I got all these little tiny letters and got the ink and the tweezer and the stamper thing to stamp down. And Lynn said it was a typesetter set. So I need to keep this very careful so I don't spill my letters. And I got a silk scarf and a wallpaper roll that looks like this. But I got a really cute one, and I don't know what I did with it with dolls on it. And then I got a huge book that is a famous artist book. Let me show you that. From the famous artist school. And we were looking it up on the internet. Oh, when I went to Hobby Lobby, I got these giant playing cards. And Janet commented and saying they'd make a really nice journal cover. And they will. They'll make a really nice journal. They're huge. They are, where there was a size on them someplace. I might have torn it off. They're like 14 by 12. They're huge. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. I paid retail. I paid $12 for those playing cards, which was too much. Too much. I got at the thrift store, I got some bags. I like to open these bags up and put them in my journals. So I got that one. Oh, I know what happened to my video. When I was watching my stream, this all went blurry. They're really pretty bags. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? Aren't those pretty? And look at this one. I love this bag. These will make pretty pages in my art journal. So that's what I'm doing with those. I have quite a little collection going there. Usually pass up those baskets and barrels of bags. I usually pass them up. What do you want an old shopping bag for? This famous artist painting course. And I think it was Kimberly 557 who said she has 3 of these books. But do you remember how you'd have those little advertisements from the famous artist school? I think that's what this was. The famous artist was started by Norman Rockwell and another artist out there. So, but I got the first book. I think this is the first. This is a 1965 edition. And I think there's a 1954 or 55 edition. But this will be fun just to go through and read. I probably won't art journal with it. It's just something fun to own. So there you go. That was my thrifting. I have no business going thrifting tomorrow. I need to put that paintbrush in water. So I do need to go to the bank and the post office tomorrow. And I'll probably sneak into the thrift store. I'll just bet I do. So I just had to do a little catch up on my thrifting fun this past week. Let me put this book aside. It was a busy week last week. That's why I was tired today. But not too busy to write in my art journal. I've been having all sorts of fun in my art journal. I make one of these every month now. Yay. Oops, it goes this way though. And it's getting full. Look how thick it is. Look how thick it is. So last week, this is my page from Lisa. Did a pick 10, an assemblage pick 10. And I had to keep mine fairly flat because I was working in my journal. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm really happy with it. But Linda T., she did a beautiful, beautiful steampunk one. Oh, I saw that post. My mouth dropped open. And then Aunt Beck did an impromptu stream right here. And I let's see, over here I did some, well, this was from last week's Doodle Game. This was a Dirty Dozen from Aunt Beck. But over here, here's Sharon's. I was looking at this. Sharon did that criminal. I don't know if I get him up here right. She did an excellent job. I was looking at it today and going, she just nailed it. She nailed the story. What did I do with my, it must be over this way. Oh, I put this knit piece in here. So I'm doing fine, I think, on my knitting and purling now. It's just going to be practice, practice, practice. I'm holding my needle so I don't line my hand a lot. Tanya taught me that. But what I need to do, and I'm looking up videos on it, is I need to, especially when I go from knit to purl, when I go from a knit row to a purl row, I'm not turning too pretty. And I know it's how I'm throwing my yarn. And I know you have to bring your yarn to the front, but I must be bringing it different ways at different times because it's really uneven in there. When I go from the purl to the knit, over on this side, it's a lot cleaner. There's a couple mistakes in there. But that's my next challenge on knitting, to practice. I still have plenty of this this green and the green yarn left. I'm using that as a practice knit. This is some Sharpie metallic markers on black construction paper. I did that in my live stream the other day. So that was from this week. I'm just showing you what I did this week. Yeah, I've shown you those sketches before. Let's go to my fib sketches because I've been catching up on my fib sketching. Of course, here's 1 through 12, days 1 through 12. This is just sketching faces. You know, sketching for me is like playing a game of solitary. Playing a game of solitary. I sit down and it relaxes me. I don't care that it doesn't look like the person. it's just, it relaxes me. Like you guys with doodling, this totally relaxes me to sketch. And so I do that a lot. Here's through day 18. A lot of these are my choices in here. But then Allie Kay sent me a lot of prompts, so I started doing them again. The zipper and the butterfly and the mask and the doodle. The building's my choice. Here's the crackle. And these were from today. I sketched these this morning. And then I said, I feel like going urban sketching. And I wrote that in here. So, and this, can you see the doggy in this? Is a bulldog. He's laying down. Can you see him? It's kind of hard to see him right away. This is his nose, and his eyes are right there. He's got a lot of wrinkles. And one paw comes this way, and the other paw's this way. You kind of have to stare at it for a minute, but if you stare at it, he'll pop out at you. That's a bulldog sleeping. So I'm caught up on my fib sketches. So I did that. Let's see, that's the doodle prompts from last week. I started sketching out the story of the little crooked, no, not the little crooked artist, the other one. Let's see. I'm just showing you what I did this week. I want to glue some more. This is a scrap page. I did another texture plate. I want to do some ATCs on there. I was kind of testing on acrylic. I would not recommend using even your, well, I was testing these Sharpies on here. This is the Paul Rubens, but I was testing the Sharpie on here. Don't use your Sharpies over acrylic paint. Don't do that. You'll ruin the nib. The black ones, these Pen Plus Gear go pretty good without ruining them, but those Sharpies, you'll ruin your Sharpies on that. Let's see. I wanted to show you one other page here. If I can find it. It's in here. We did that. I don't think we did that last week. Here. I started sketching out the three little artists here. And of course, they're not little. They're older artists. There's a lady sitting there and a man there and a lady there. And I've got scissors and paint brushes and everything. I want to illustrate my little nursery rhyme. And then I'll do a large illustration over here. So I worked on that. And I think that you've seen this as my napkin page. That's a scavenger hunt page. Nana Mo sent that napkin to me. I just love it. Here, I can take my bobby pins out of this. We had the hop today. I've been putting this, I haven't been showing this as my spring hop page with my mind map. I probably bored everybody with my mind map out there. But what does spring mean to you? Baby yellow ducks and chicks and rabbits and flowers, tulips, daffodils, dandelions, hyacinths, and crocus. Farmers plowing in the field. They can't get out in the fields yet. It's wet out there. Garden seeds, radishes, carrots, Easter bunnies, chocolate rabbits, baby lambs, and Easter hams. So I just wrote as many things as I could think of what Easter meant to me. And then I did the little sketch off of that vintage postcard. And I think I'm going to come back and put those postcards in here. I'm going to put them in little plastic sleeves and put them in here, but that's for another day. So let's go ahead and do Doodle Game. That's what I'm getting at. Let's do our Doodle Game. I think I'm going to, well, I think I can leave this off. Are you ready for my Doodle Game? Let's catch up with chat here first. Hi, River City. Thank you, Barb. She says she loves the bulldog. You see the dog, Allie Kay? Yay. Well, paintbrush, dirty paintbrush, I can't draw a mandala to save my life. So, you know, we do what calls us. We do the art that we like. And that's what's important. If if you can't draw, you may be better at woodworking, or you may be better at painting. You may be better at just art journaling in general. Whatever you're good at, whatever's calling you, whatever's inspiring you, that's what you should do. I don't color a lot, and I don't do mandalas. I'm trying to teach myself how to knit, just because I think it's important to stretch your skill every now and then, but you have to be motivated to do it. You can't do it because somebody is telling you to do it. You do it because you go, oh, I want to learn that. And then you do it, or you start trying to learn it. So let's see. I was talking to Paintbrush there. Aunt Beck, your mandala is beautiful. I have to go look at Aunt Beck's mandala. Everybody says it's so pretty. Thank you, Auntie Rowe. Hi, Auntie Rowe. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Catherine. Catherine Warbox. Mary, slip the last stitch of each row will make a neater edge. You mean just slip it off? Are you still in here, Catherine? You're saying slip the last stitch of each row. It'll make a neater edge. You're not saying to do a knit stitch on the last stitch? Am I understanding you right? I'll have to try that. I'll go back and check the in chat there if you're still here. Paintbrush says, I'm kind of glad for the rain tomorrow. It means no yard work, and I feel okay about being gone and doing fun stuff. Yeah, there is an upside to rain. We've had so much rain here in Nebraska. Our fields cannot hold another. I don't think I've seen Nebraska this wet since I was a child. I mean, the ditches are full, the fields, and we're a plain state. There's a lot of flat land. And when I was growing up, we would have big old farm fields that would have a lot of water in the lower part of that farm field. And, eventually that all dried up, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of water. We were not affected by the flood, though, but there were a lot of people around us that were, and my heart goes out to them. I hate this season because of I love spring. Spring is my favorite season, but just like Lisa they had tornado warnings tonight. Tornadoes scare me to death. I dream about tornadoes. I asked my brother, what would we do if a tornado hit and it leveled this house, and we'd have to find a place to stay. We'd have to find a place. I don't know. We said we'll deal with it when it comes, if it comes. Auntie Rose says, I used to love, love, love yard sales. Yes, the yard sales. I can't bring any more stuff home. My brother will throw me out. My first time. I'm going to an estate sale tomorrow with my niece. I'm looking for books, magazines, and other fun things I can use in my journals. Oh, have fun, Dirty Paintbrush. Yay, and estate sales are fun, too, because I would go with a friend up there in Madison, and she actually lived in Milwaukee, and I'd drive over and visit her, and we'd go to estate sales there in Milwaukee, and that was fun. That was fun. You would walk through the houses, the houses that they had, the rooms that they had open, and it's like a garage sale, only it's inside of a house. So, yeah, have fun doing that. Oh, Beck, I'll be glad when these days are over. One more week. Yeah. Jerry's cleaning out her house. That painting book would be fun to alter. I'm still deciding what I want to do with it, Jerry. Yes, Lisa, I will do a video sharing it on Monday. I don't know what she's sharing, but aren't those cards wonderful, Jerry? They'll probably sit around for 6 months, but I'll tell you, just like those newspapers, I didn't know what I was going to do with those newspapers until we did that bank book, and there they were. So that's what it's going to be with those cards. All right, let's go back down to current chat. Let's see, what was this? I read that. Just thinking, if you slip it off, will you lose a stitch? Catherine says, slip the last stitch as if to purl, not slip it off. Oh, so you slip it from, like you have the stitch on this needle, and you don't stitch it, you don't let it fall off, you slip it from here to here. You slip it from the left, well, from all of the stitches on your left needle, you slip it from your left needle over to your right needle instead of working it. I'm going to try that. Okay. You guys who give me good advice. When I did my very first knitting video online, you know, it was very evident that I was learning. And Tanya gave me good advice about throwing the yarn over your finger from the back instead of from the front. And I was using, now she didn't tell me to use the index finger here, but because I use my index finger to crochet with, and I naturally use my index finger when I crochet. So I think I had the yarn, I was going from the front to the back on my index finger. And of course I had a lot of hand movement, and Tanya spotted that right away. Well, after I figured out what Tanya was telling me, then I figured out that I needed to use my third finger, and I was able to get closer to the needle, and I would have a lot less hand movement because I could just kind of go like, you know, like that when I was knitting rather than going like this. But let me tell you the other thing. I've watched 2 or 3 beginning knitting, how to knit videos where they will actually take, like they use the right hand. I use my left hand. I'm not left-handed. Don't ask me why. But they will take the right hand and actually use the right hand and bring that over and around. And they have a lot of hand movement. So there's a lot of different ways, but I learned over the finger from the back from Tanya, and now from Catherine, I'm learning about this turning thing to just slip it from one needle to the other. I'm going to try that because that's the other thing I need to do. Now I'm going to be knitting tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. I probably would have tried to drop it, Allie K. I probably would have dropped the stitch if you wouldn't have mentioned it. Paintbrush says she's in Kansas, so right next door. Oh, well, cool. Cool. Did you guys get a lot of rain down that way? Did you have flooding down in Kansas? I know that Nebraska, I think it was in Iowa, though, and states east of us that got a lot of flooding. Omaha got flooded a lot. But Grand Island, well, see, the Platte River goes through there. We have all the migrating sandhill cranes come through. So the Platte River is up by Grand Island, and they got hit pretty bad. Okay. You want to be great at all things art, huh? I was reading Dirty Paintbrush. She says, I want to do it all. I'm kind of like that, too. I get so inspired by all the art projects going on. I want to do it all. Okay, I think I'm up with you guys. I did not personally, my brother, our town did not get hit by the flooding, but there were towns around us that got flooded. Kind of south by the Little Blue River and north by the Platte River and kind of northeast by the Big Blue River got flooded. So there were a lot of places in Nebraska where it completely flooded them out. Yeah, we were not personally hit by the floods, which we're very grateful for. You know, it would just, we would have to deal with it like everybody else has to, but my heart goes out to them. Well, let's do a doodle game. I'm going to go out to my community tab right here while we're talking and drop the links to, I think it's Doodle Game 10. I think it's Doodle Game 10. That's what I called it. So let me go out to my channel and to my community tab. And for those of you who can get to my community tab, I just learned this week that not everybody on mobile can get to, or is it only on mobile? Not everybody can get to the community tabs, and I think that's sad. But if you can get to my community tab, I have 2 of my urban sketches that I did at the courthouse today. So those are out there. But they'll be, oh, and don't forget, let's go back. Don't forget, check out Azure Muse's little kitty cat. Isn't that darling? That's banded in the scrap box from last week. Azure did a wonderful, wonderful job. Wonderful, wonderful work. Excellent work. So I'm just saying, I didn't ask her to do it. She just sent it to me. And so I posted it. I mean, she has the original. She sent me a picture of it that I could post. So I'm going to go back to posting here. And I'm just going, I think I already have it in my box, if I can paste. Let's see. I think it's this one. I'm hoping, yeah, it's a woodcut. Now, don't get scared. The other thing I want to say on these links, I've got a link, and I'm calling it Open Access Public Domain Search. But when you go to that search box, you have to filter to their open access library. I already have show only open access. But if you're just going there yourself, let me post this. If you're just going to the search by yourself, make sure that you go to their open access. Let's see, I think I have to get completely out of this to get to my, there, Doodle Game 10. Let's go there. This is going to the Met Museum, and this is to search the collection, but you have to filter. You have to filter and let's see, is it all fields? All fields. Is it filter by? No, show only. Whoops. I got out of it. Yeah, I got out of it. There it is. Maybe it's still out there. Yeah, here we go. Show only. Come on. I lost it. Hold a minute. Let me go back there. Filter by, is there a show only? Open access. So you have to go in that filter by, and then there's a show only, and you want their open access. That means everything in that, when you click that open access, when you check it, you'll only get their public domain, because they've got other collections out there, artwork on display, their highlights. They've got other collections out there. So let's go back and go to the one that we're going to do tonight. And don't get scared. But this is the one we're going to pick our doodles off of tonight. Right here. Now, I think I have this in my gallery. So let me get it out here. Doodle Game 10. Now, I actually have another one out there. There's kind of a button one, but we're not going to do that. I was practicing this one right here. So let's get at it here. I might have to open some new markers. But we'll go with these right now. See what this is Doodle Game 10. And then I'm going to do the story. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. It gets pretty late, but we do the list and it gets pretty late. This is Doodle Game 10, and this is a dry marker. I run the ink out of these pretty fast. 3, I think I'm going to have to get out another marker here. We'll set these aside. Let me grab Well, I'll just, no, I don't want to use those because they're chisel type. Let me grab a new package of markers behind me here. I buy these markers every time I go to Walmart. They must wonder what that lady is doing with all of these markers. But I like to use the nice fresh ones, especially if I'm doing envelopes and stuff like that I send out. So let's just rip this off. I don't have the patience to do more than rip. I used to save all this product packaging, but you just get so much of it that eventually you just start throwing it out. You save these, they make nice tags if you can get it off. But I lose my patience when I'm online. Where did I throw them? Where did I throw them? Wait a minute. I just had them in my hand. What did I do with them? Honestly, Mary, what did I do with them? Yeah, you can only save so much. That frustrates me. I had them right here. I was showing them to you. I did not throw them in the trash. They're not in the trash. They're not on the floor. They're not on my desk. Did you guys see what I did with my markers? Huh. Well, what would I have done with those? They're not in my trash. They're not on the floor. Hi, Patricia. I'm going to open them again. I swear. I don't know what happened. Are they in here? Are they over? How can I lose it in 3 seconds? How can I lose those markers in 3 seconds? That is so frustrating. Well, I'm going to open them again. I was saying, I don't have the patience for this. And I opened them. Did I open them and put them like this? Are they here? Are these the new ones? Yeah, that's what I did. All right. Okay, we got 4 new markers out. Just ignore me some days. Come on, flip. I scrolled back, right side of desk next to the pin pile. Thank you, Allie K. You're my lifesaver. Bless your heart. Okay, so today is 3. Thank you, Mary. Mary, are you going to do a button list? Yes, I am tonight. After I do my doodles. I'm only going to do 5 doodles tonight. And then we're going to tell the story. And the story is part of the Twist the List. And it will be about buttons. I'm going to try to keep the story shorter tonight. So we'll see. We'll see. The list, we can go on forever. But yes, I am going to do a button list tonight. And there was some chat about buttons earlier in the stream here. So it might be a good night to do the button list. B-U-T-T-O-N, button list. What would we do without our fibs? I don't know, Lisa. I tell you, these gals here saved me. They save my hide some days. Dusty, where's Dusty? Hi, Dusty, welcome. All right, so I was going to do, and I can't see chat while I'm looking at my gallery. So if you're chatting to me while I'm doing these doodles, just keep in mind I'm not seeing the chat. So we're going to work with this one, and it looks hard, but it's not hard. We're going to pull this apart here. Actually, what this is, if you look at it, it's a diamond with an X in it, and the X just has little loops on each side of the X, and there's a diamond, and then the top of left of the diamond loops around this lane, this line here, and then it comes down and makes the right side of the next diamond. The first one up here is just a heart. It doesn't have the closing diamond. You could close it if you wanted to. But let's just start out with the top. It looks hard, but it's really not that hard. And I'm just going to kind of go slow. And I might extend down the page here. We'll see. So I'm just going to draw a little heart type thing here with my diamonds. Just like that. And I'm not worrying about, are the lines nice and even? Is it neat? All of that. I'll worry about that if I'm doing something that I really care about. This is just kind of showing you how to get ideas. See, these points should really be about the same. But now they have kind of pokey, spiky things coming out at the top of each one of these. But I like to do leaves. So I'm just going to kind of put some pretty little leaves up here. And maybe I'll make this one a little shorter just to make it fit. Now, this line, there's a line coming down this way. Let's make it go down this far. Way down this way. And this line comes and loops around like that. And this line, this side of this diamond actually goes down here to the next diamond, like that. Now this one does not have, the top heart does not have the, well, it has kind of an X here, but it doesn't have the little loops like the next one will. So let's go ahead and let's do this one. And let's do a loop around that way and bring it down this way and this way. But now when we do this in here, you could either draw the diamonds, like here I started out drawing the diamonds in like that. Well, on this one, you can just kind of make your X. You can either cross these, like I did not put crossing lines here, or you can make your diamonds, and that's why I don't have the little lines going across, you know, overlapping in the X. But what it does have is has little loops around there on each side here, like that. And it looks a lot more complicated than it is, because all it ends up being is an X inside of a diamond. And once you get doing this, and then I'm putting the little loops on the outside here. And you could bring them around, like I brought this one around here. You could bring these around too and let them loop around like that. And I'll go back in and fill that in. So this line comes down and forms this side of the next diamond. I'm only going to do 3. So it comes like that. And this one comes down and loops around and then this one comes down to the next, and it just keeps going. So let's just do the little diamonds in here, which are kind of haphazard right now because I'm going fast. And let's just do a little loopy thing here, maybe a little loop there and a little loop there. And there it is. Now you can go in and color these in, and I think I will, just to make it stand out a little more. Let me get my markers here. I've been filling up my marker box with, I bought some more. I bought some highlighters because I like the how the highlighters will fill in, especially on my ATCs. Let's do this purple. No, let's do, I like my pinks. Let's do it in this. I think let's do my inner diamonds in pink. So see how it takes shape? the color really makes it pop out because you can see the different shapes. And it's not hard. Once you do this several times, you'll be drawing them real fast, because all it is an X and a diamond with some loops, and they're tied on to the side over here. This is a woodcut piece. If you go to my community tab, there is a link to it, what I'm looking at. Let's see. Let's just take one of my, well, no, because I'm working on a, the gold, will the gold show up? Yeah, the gold kind of shows up. Let's make these inner lines gold. Probably would show up better being blue, but that's okay. I got the gold going now. A light blue would be pretty with this. Just kind of like this. And I always think of needlework. I always think of needlework when I see something like this, because this looks like this could be done with a needle. Now they have on here, they have it going to this piece over here, but I think I'm going to count that as my doodle 2. We'll put doodle number 1, and I'm just going to call it an X in a diamond. That's what I see. And then over on this side, I'm not, well, I think I will attach it. On this side, what they have in here, they have these loops. This line kind of makes a, well, let's see, it kind of curves this way, and this line kind of curves that way and comes up this way. Now I'm counting this as doodle number 2. And I'm going to have to fill those in with green. I'm going to do some more leaves because I like the leaves better than their spiky. I call theirs spikes. And then on this shape, they also have little loops like that. And they have a little loop here. And then what they have here, let's draw this one, coming like this. If you go slow and just follow it, it makes sense. They also have some little loops on each side here, like that. And then it comes down this way and down this way, like that. Kind of makes like a little circular oval type thing. But in here, they have a little space in there, like that. And then they got 2 little loops there and a loop here. And it can get, it looks a lot harder than it is, because all you're doing is adding little segments. That's all you're doing. And once you get one down, it's pretty repetitious. Like here's another oval coming this way with the inner piece and the little loops on each side. And another oval over here, like that. And then they have the little side loops, like this. And on this side too. And then it just continues on. So I'm calling this one number 2. And I don't even know what to call it. I'm just going to call it number 2 for now. Because I'm at a loss right now. Let's see. Where's my blues? This is a darker blue on here than what I want. Let's go with this blue highlighter. Let's make these lines blue. Like that. and blue, just as if you were doing a blue needlework or something. And I'm just going to kind of color in these lines. This really is a pretty piece. It really is a pretty piece. There you go. Now let's get out my green and let's put some green leaves on here. This highlighter's getting dry. But there you go. Let's see, I missed it. And of course, if you go slower and you're concentrating on what you're doing, you'd probably do a better job. But I'm just kind of showing you. So there's doodles 1 and 2 just off of this side of that needlework piece right in here. There's a link to that in on my community tab. You can get in closer and see a closer view. I have to tell you, this piece is awesome. It's just awesome. Let's go back to the picture here. Let's go back to the big picture. It's just awesome. This has all sorts of trims on here. Let's see. Let's pick another one. Let's do... let's see. I think I'll go back to my... I have it here. Yeah, I do. We're going to do this one up here. And I might just do 1 or 2. We'll start with 1. And what it has... Can I fit it on down here? I might try. Can you guys see that without me knocking my markers over? Put my glue pot away. Move my book up a little. Let's put my markers off over to the side here. I use my wastebasket as a table. So, what it has, it's really very angular in shape. But I'm going to start out, it has this kind of like a little grid work pyramid here. It has just a little square piece. Let's do the squares down here at the bottom. Just like this. And then it just has some little square areas in here, little square threads. Like that. Now I want to fit it in this area right in here. So I'm going to have to be careful how big I make it. So there's 1, 2, 3 rows, got kind of a pyramid of squares. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And you just make the little squares in here, just kind of doodle them in. Does not have to be perfect, especially if you're just starting. And then around that, right here, we have a piece that angles like this, and like this. I may not get all of this on here, but we'll try. I have to put my phone down for a minute. Oops. Like that. And then from this point, we have this structure that comes with a tall kind of a cylinder loop and a one on top of that and one on top of that and then a round loop on top. So there's kind of 4 kind of cylinder loops here. So here's one. Excuse me with holding my phone. My hand kind of shakes. I'm going to have to set it down. 1. And then there's one coming this way. And actually, this one meets this thread that comes out way down over this way. Like that. and goes around, and it actually comes down that way too. That's kind of thick in there. And then it has some loops coming out over like this, like that, and a little loop up here, and one on the side here. Now, if I were doing this, I would be doing it again but I'm never happy with them initially, but once I do more of them, I'm happy with them. So there's another one, kind of little side loops here. And then 1, 2, there's one up here. So this is my third one coming up here. And there's some little loops. Kind of reminds me of the tatting loops, little picot type things. And then there's sort of a circular loop on top. And there you go. Now there's, off of this corner, there's actually one that comes up and kind of goes around that way. And this corner kind of comes up this way. And it forms a diamond down in here. I mean, it just kind of keeps going. There's a loop. There's really a loop in there. And there's a loop over here. This goes over that way. And this forms kind of like a diamond coming down that way. Now let's color that, because it looks complicated, but all it is the bottom structure, like a ladder on its side, and kind of like a little pyramid going up with those ladder shapes. And then they just kind of outline it with this six-figured shape. And then they have a big V and loops. They're just looping everything together. So let's go ahead and color it. What shall I color it? I like that light blue and light pink because they show up. I didn't put the cap back on that one. Or if I did, that's how they dry out. I think that's the one I was using, I hope. Let's use this one, and let's use the pink again. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take another drink of pop. It quenches my thirst. Color this thread pink because I think you'll see it better. The color just kind of makes it stand out. So here's my top loops up here, and actually I think it has another little loop on top. And here's the V that kind of goes around this way. This is the ladder shape down here at the bottom. I really do like looking at the images and getting inspired by them. And as long as these images are in the public domain, you know, feel free to go out and learn from them. Somebody had to do this many years ago. And, you know, they did some wonderful art back then. You know, when I was in high school, we never had access to all of this, but with the internet and with the libraries and the art museums, the capability that they have to scan and upload to the web, you know, we're just so fortunate to have all this. We might as well take advantage of it. And this kind of goes in there. I kind of got an extra line there. But there we go. There's doodle number 3. I don't know what I'm going to call that. Number 3. So I got 2 more. And I didn't put a page behind this. So see what happens when I don't put a page behind it? Let's put a page behind this one. I got 2 more. Let's put a sheet of copy paper behind it. Protect that other side. And we'll kind of have some messy ink spots out there. So I got 2 more to do. And that one's really complicated. We're not going to do that one. Let's do this one. This one does not look that complicated. It's just a bunch of half circles with loops going through them. and some little ladders down at the bottom with V shapes. So let's start over here. Let's make this one big so that you can see it. We're going to start at the bottom here. This is this bottom mark, right? I'll hold it up here. Right there. So these are all off of that. I'm thinking I should have come down lower. Let's see. Let's do another. This will be our ladder shape in here. Let's make this the ladders, because it's not going to fit to be in this big. And then this will be the bottom line here. Right there. And actually, this could be a doodle in itself. And all it has are lines crossing each other like this. You could make that a doodle in itself. If you wanted, you could stop right there. And it looks like they're actually looping it there. Instead of X's, it looks like they might be looping it. But I'm just going to continue making X's because they're easy. They're really more V-shaped than X's. They're more of a V shape like that, but they do cross. All right. Then right in here, they do this big arch right there. So let's draw the arch in here. Like that maybe. And then they've got these little ladder shapes coming. I'm just going to draw lines. They're kind of fillers in here. They've got 3 of them. There. And it looks like there's some loops on this. Kind of hard to see on this picture what's going on there. And then they've got kind of three little ladders. I'm calling them ladders because that's what they remind me of. Just like that. Then we start our arches, our half circles, arches. And there's one coming this way, like that, sort of. And then from here, kind of more centered than what I have it, there's a loop here. And he actually goes above that line. There's a loop there. And there's a loop here. Kind of like a floral shape. And the same way over here. And you'll see this better when I color it in. Sort of like that. And then above this is another arch that kind of comes above it like that. And over. And actually it connects right in here with the next one. That goes off the page. And then this one connects over here. But on this, let's draw the arch like that. And I think this is probably connected with some loops. Probably some loops in here. You could put connecting loops on it if you wanted. On this, all it has are bigger loops. And that's really all there is to it. It looks a lot harder than it is. Once you get in and start doing it. Looks like there's something going on in here, like a diamond shaped or something going on over here, which connects these. So let's color that in with our pink. This is doodle number 4. I'm going to call this an arched flower, I think. Because that's what it reminds me of. This shape that I'm doing right now reminds me of a flower. And I'm not seeing chat. If you're saying hello to me or you're talking to me, I am not seeing chat at all because I'm doing this. I'll look at chat when I'm done. And once you do this over and over and over, if you were doing, doing it smaller and doing it across your page or down the bottom, you'd get fast at this. I'm kind of talking my way through it. And actually these lines go like this. It's kind of like a little ladder. And there's a line going this way. My pink is running out. Because I like it so well. There we go. There it is. I'm going to put this one in pink here. And then it has its arches and everything over here. These I'm going to leave alone. Might put some of the pink around some arches, some pink arches in here just for the fun of it. Maybe, just kind of decorate it up a little. Doodle on it. So I'm going to call that number 4. And I'm going to call it what did I call it? An arched flower. ARCHED flower. Now we have one more. Let's see if we can get an easy one out of here. We did that one. Oh, this will be easy. Let's find a good example of it here. Maybe we're going to do our ladder shape again at the top. Like this is the top of the doodle here. And do a ladder shape. Do our little lines. And right here, you could use that just as a doodle, just like that if you wanted to, and call it a doodle. Call it a ladder. Then it's got 2 kind of like oval pieces coming this way. And let's see. Right like that and like that. And this goes around this way, makes another oval coming this way. And that could be another doodle. But inside it has a thread here, a thread here, and it looks like it has 2 X's in there. So it has an X going up this way and this way, and it has another one. Those are getting pretty dark, but like that, an X, and another X, something like that. And then it crosses in here and kind of forms a centerpiece in there. And from there, it comes down like this on each side. And then it just forms some loops here. It looks like to me. It's got a loopy in there. But off this loop, it has sort of a floral shape coming up that way. And there must be another loop over here. I'm not seeing it there, but another floral coming up over that way. And then it's kind of got another one coming down this way. There's a loop here. A line coming that way with a loop. This is more just one line, and it comes down this way like this. So this is kind of one big long loop here. And then they're kind of making a floral shape coming out. And they kind of loop it off, and then there's a bottom loop down in here. It's kind of pretty. And then when you repeat that, you do another one of those over here, it starts becoming, well, it's the repetition thing. There's actually another line, a bottom line coming here. like that. Okay, let's color that in. It'll probably make a lot more sense. Let's color it in with our metallic pen here. Well, see how that works. And then coming this way and around this way and up that way. And forgive my bad coloring because I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. And this comes down here. It's kind of like, then this is all colored in. And this is all colored in. And there's another line down here. And then these are colored in. Like that. It's really just a series of loops. But it's the repetition thing. When you get this over here and just keep going, it's like a pretty trim. And that's what I'm going to call this. I'm just going to call it number 5. I'm just going to call it trim. I'm going to call it a ladder trim just because I need to name it right here. Ladder trim. So there are my doodles for this week. We did 5 of them just off of this. There's a lot more you could pick out here. I mean, you could just keep going. Let's go back to the main piece here. I mean, you can keep going. There's kind of look like little trees in there with the triangle. This one is amazing. When you see, look for P38 over on the left-hand side of this. You want a doodle, there it is. Here's our ladder trim down here at the bottom row over here on the bottom left. We did this side. That's what this is over here on the side. That's this, which I made doodle, the X in a diamond, and I didn't name this one. And here's, I should call this a pyramid. Pyramid. P-I-Y-R-M-I-D. Well, I'll have to look A-M-I-D. Pyramid. Pyramid. I spelled that wrong. P-Y-R-M-A-M-I-D. Pyramid. That's an I. I'll have to look up the right spelling of that. I didn't name number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4 is our arched flower, and our ladder trim is number 5. How fun! How fun it is to do that. Who do I have left in chat? Let me go back to my YouTube videos here because I got out. Hi, everybody. P-Y-R-A-M-I-D. I think that's what I have, but it's, oh, I dotted my Y. Let's scribble those out. Thank you, River City. P-Y-R-A-M-I-D. Oops. This is a scribble doodle. It's called the Black Mistake. Blackout mistake. Blackout spelling mistake. There we go. That's actually number 6. Yes, it is. That is the site. If you go to my community tab, you'll see a search. You'll see at the top of my post, you'll see a search to the Met Museum. Yes, it is. Thank you, Janet. Bless your heart. Janet just put a link to my community tab. I don't think everybody can get to the community tabs because some of the gals in my early stream were saying they couldn't get to it on their device. So some devices can't get to community tabs the way I'm understanding it. Mary, number 2 looks like DNA. Shall I call that DNA? Let's move my number 2. Let's just continue that blackout over there. Look, it's a finger pointing to this one. Look. Okay. Number 2, we're going to call it DNA because that's what they say it looks like. And number 3 is a pyramid. This is my blackout mistake, but ended up to being a hand pointing. And this is the arched flower, and this is the ladder trim. Let's see what you're all talking to me about. Let's see. Petals and Dream. Does anyone know the name of the site she's getting these doodles? Yes, it's the Mint Museum. This is coming out of their open access library. When you go to the search, if you're going to it out of my link, you have to be sure that you're searching in their open access collection. I think my link takes you right to open access because I put that only open access in my link. If you look at it, it says open access. But when you click on the picture, let's go there because I want to show this to you. Let's see. Let's go. Let me go there. Right here. And here I am at the woodcut that we did. And there it is there. Let me expand this. See, there's a little box down at the bottom. It says, it's a little box, and inside of that box, it says OA, right there, OA. Let me point to it right here. And that means open access, and you'll see the word public domain. If you don't see that on an image at the Mint Museum, then it is not an open access public domain photo. But, oh my goodness, they have hundreds and hundreds of scans in this open access library. I have done 10 games off of doodles, off of images that I got out of this open access library. I love the Mint Museum. There's another, the Library of Congress, and there's a couple other libraries out there that have scans, but you have to be sure if you're, well, I don't know so much if you are just working in your journal, you may not have to worry about it. But if you want a public domain image, look for that little open access square. I'm always more comfortable on my doodle games using public domain photos. So that's the end of the doodle game. Are you all ready for the story? Let's go back to my chat. Are you ready for the story? Mary, I just added a photo to my community tab of your doodles in a mandala. Oh, Aunt Beck. Aunt Beck, can I go to your channel now and look at it? Let me go look at it. Let's go to Aunt Beck's channel. Let's go to her community tab. Oh, look what she did here. Aunt Beck. Look, now see, that's just amazing. Look at what Aunt Beck did. Look at that. That is amazing, Aunt Beck. She got all those. I'm going to get a pointer here. Where's my palette knife? Use this as a pointer. Look at what she did. She got all those loops in there. So pretty. She did it on black. White on black. That is totally amazing. Amazing, Aunt Beck, what you did. And then she put it around in a circle. Beautiful. Look how she brought those lines around. This is just beautiful, Aunt Beck. You blow my mind how you take this during the live stream. And look what she did. She brought this line. Here's that oval with the little loops, and she brought that line down and around into this inner circle. That is just totally beautiful. Just beautiful. So Are you saying I should do a Mandela? Maybe I will sometime, but you're excellent, Aunt Beck. You blow my mind. All of you do when I see your art. Let's look at this one. Oh my goodness. Look at this one. Oh, wow. Well, now this is the one she did with Barb Owen today. I wish we could expand these on the community tab. On the phone, you cannot expand this. I am so wanting to expand it like a photo, but you can't do that on the community tab. At least on my phone, you can't. So this is the one she did with Barb Owen today. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is totally gorgeous, Aunt Beck. Did you do another one? Nope, she got other posts out there from Wednesday night. Beautiful work, Aunt Beck. Beautiful work. Well, you know, Anya, the thing of it is, you don't have to show them because you're practicing. That's why we have art journals. That is why we have art journals to practice. You don't have to show anybody what you do in your journal. But the more you practice, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you'll want to show people. But, you know, mine aren't that great. Mine aren't that great. I just talked my way through it, and I would probably go back and practice these a little bit more. And look what Aunt Beck did in just the time that I talked. Hi, Joan. Hi, Crystal. Hello to everybody who's come in while I've been chattering away. Petals and Dream. Let's see, Janet's here. Auntie Ro is here. Anya, River City. Tanya had to leave. Marianne. Hi, Marianne. Tanya had to leave. She says, okay, I'm off to find my pillow. It's been a very long day. I understand. Auntie Rose says, doodling ATCs and kind of missing passing out huggles. Okay, let's see. A merry-go-round. Merry-go-round, River City says. Did you, at a time in there, did it buffer? Did I buffer in there? I wouldn't have saw it if it buffered. I would not have caught it. Marianne says, you have no idea how grateful I am to see you guys. Well, Marianne, I'm very grateful to see all of you here. Marianne says, hello, hello, hello. We're very grateful you're here. There's Beth. Did I see Beth come in here? Did I see Beth come in? Hi, Ann is here. Ann Lar. Hi, Ann. Dusty Ward. Allie K. And that's as far as I can go up. Looks like a doily. Aunt Beck does beautiful work. She does beautiful work. Okay, let's get out the list. We're going to do a button list, but I'm going to tell the story first. But I want to get out my little book of lists here. And it's one of these. It's one of these that I've been writing down my lists. Those are my doodles. I think it's this one. This is the one I used last week because I have all little Maisie's pictures in it. And I'm going to get these buttons out because we're going to do a button list while we go here. Let's go to my list, which is toward the back here. Didn't I do the list last week toward the back? Oh, I must have. Did I do it from the back? Yeah, I did it from the back. Because I did things to do with an empty paper bag. I think that was that last week. I can't even remember. Oh, but I did make a list of, I want to start translating my stories into, and let me tell you, when I read a story, I've written another story that's nothing to do with this that I haven't put online. But after I wrote it down, I read it into the microphone and I listened to it back. And it's very evident that I'm reading that. And when I'm in chat and I'm just talking to you and I'm telling you the story extemporaneous, I think you're getting it more from a story. It's a real talent to tell a story smooth and not make any mistakes. I'm not there yet, but I try. And I try to keep all my facts in a row. And, well, you know how I am with that. But I like to tell these extemporaneous off of just out of my head into the air, because I think you get it more in a storytelling mode, like I was sitting across the table having a cup of coffee with you. So, and I've listened to them online, and I feel that when I listen to the replay back. And it doesn't matter to me that I make mistakes and I stop and I might answer questions or I might talk to somebody. It's like me telling you the story rather than me reading a story to you. When you're reading a story, you know, you're just reading it, and it's very evident that you're reading from a script. But the story tonight is kind of based off of my own life. The main character in my story is myself. I'm calling it Ms. Meri Mysteries. And because, not that I want to be narcissistic about it or anything, but it's easier for me to make myself the main character than get in trouble with using somebody else as a main character, or somebody who thinks they might be the main character because, you know, who knows, the name that I picked may have been one of you out there that, you know, not intentionally, but I figure, well, if I use my own name, I won't get in as much trouble. So that's how that goes, how I'm the main character. So I had a really busy week last week, so I'm using that in my story. So Miss Meri, oh, it was Saturday again. We get together on Saturday afternoons at the Meri Atelier, which is like a little empty store building downtown. And I was thinking more about the downtown area. It's a small town. I call myself the reluctant retiree because I really was not ready to retire. In real life, I was not ready to retire. But in my story, Miss Meri was a reluctant retiree, and she moved back home. She moved back to the town where she grew up. And she noticed that the store where her great grandfather and grandmother, they actually ran a store in the store building, and it was still standing. It was downtown on the town square. And I'm trying to visualize in my head what this town square might look like. And I'm slowly getting a picture, but I'm still formulating it in my mind. But Miss Meri, every Saturday, she's rented out this building because, after all, it didn't belong to them. I don't think the building belonged to them. They ran the store. It was a general store way back then. Her great-grandfather and great-grandmother ran the store in that building, and it's empty now, so she rented it out, and she's just using it as a gathering place for the local artists. And we're on chapter 5, I believe. I think this is the 5th week for telling this story. So this is chapter 5. And I did title it. Let me see. I actually made a list here in my journal. What did I call this? I have to check. I called chapter 5, The Case of the Cat Rescue. Now, I don't come up with as good titles as you do, so if you think of a good title, put it in the comments and maybe I'll see it. But I'm calling this The Case of the Cat Rescue. And what happens is Miss Meri's had a very busy week in this story. I mean, she's ran to the bank. She had to get groceries. She had to clean the house. She did laundry. And she just had a million things to do. And by the time Saturday morning came along, she was tired. She was exhausted. She was ready for a weekend. And what better weekend than to get together on a Saturday afternoon with her local art friends. So there she drives downtown. She's getting ready to go into the door. Well, yeah, she does go into the door. I have to kind of make this up as I'm going. She goes into the door and everybody else is coming in with her. And as somebody comes in, little Bandit, oh yeah, our little Bandit, Beth has brought little Bandit back. And by the way, we've had Holly and Mina and Beth now take care of our little kitty every week, fictitiously. They're taking care of the kitty cat. Who wants to do it next week? If nobody wants to do it, I'll just assign a fictitious person. Holly did it one week, Mina, and fictitiously, all you have to do is in the story, you really don't have to do anything in real life. There's nothing to do. But fictitiously, you're taking care of, you're making sure the litter box is empty, the cat is fed, and, you know, you go in and you give it some loving and some company and make sure it's okay. But Beth took little Bandit home with her last week, and Beth said that little kitty got along really good with her dog and her other kitty, which kind of surprised Meri. But who wants to take care of the, let's see, what is Annie Rowan saying? Kitty crisis? Violet says she's happy to share her name for any of the stories. Would be an honor. Okay. Send it my way, Petals and Dream says. Okay, I'm just going to say Petals and Dream is going to take care of the little kitty next week. And you're just fictitiously taking care of this in the story. You're not really doing anything. There's nothing to do in real life. I'm just naming somebody who's going to take care of our little kitty during the week so he doesn't get lonely. He's a shop kitty. He doesn't get outside much unless you take him outside to get some air. Well, we've all come in. We've all had long, busy weeks. Spring is coming. There's spring cleaning to do. There's, the spring hops, the videos to watch. And, well, you know how tired I was today. I already told you how tired I was this afternoon. I came home from urban sketching and I fell asleep. But I'm awake now. So, we're gathering and people are coming in the door. The local artists are coming in the door. Well, little Bandit, who does not get outside a whole lot, decides he's going to explore outside. And just as somebody comes in, he darts out the door. Well, just at the time he darts out the door, there's a couple walking their little Chihuahua dog down the sidewalk. And that little Chihuahua dog is fierce little creature, and he starts barking at little Bandit, and little Bandit is not, he doesn't know what a Chihuahua dog is. And you know, the Chihuahua dog kind of runs after him, even though he's on a leash. He pulls the leash loose, and of course, little kitty runs across the street, and he runs way up in the top tree. You know how kitties will do. Well, he goes so high, he can't get back down again. No amount of coaxing, you know. And I was actually reading about this on the internet, why cats get stuck in a tree. And that's because they can climb up real fast, you know, forward. But when they climb down, they can't climb back down with their head first. They have to back down. Well, little Bandit has not had a lot of experience outside climbing trees and backing back down. So he's stuck up there, and he's way up there. Well, we decide, hi, Teresa. Yeah, we decide to call Orville. Orville is our officer, our local police officer. He usually shows up on Saturday afternoons just to make sure that we're all okay. But he also shows up for the refreshments. And but he's not around this afternoon. He must be out hunting for the lead pencil criminal who's still at large. And so I give him a call and say, oh, come over quick. Bandit ran up a tree and he can't get down. You're our local police officer. Can you get a ladder? And well, he comes over and he takes one look at little Bandit way up there in the tree and says, there's no way that he's going to climb that tree. He said he could maybe get to the lower branches, but Bandit is way up there. And he says, we're going to have to call the fire department. Well, here's the other thing that I read on the internet, that in a lot of the cities and towns now, you don't call the fire department if you have a cat up a tree. They won't come. They, you know, because, you know, they want to be available in case there's a real fire. So you have to either call a tree trimming service or a, you know, somebody who can have a a reach, high enough to get up to the highest branch up there where Little Bandit is. But in our little town, at the Meri, I haven't named our little town yet. That'll be another list for another day. But in our little town, it is still friendly enough and it's still small enough that you can call the fire department if your kitty gets caught up a tree. So I go, oh no, we aren't going to call the fire department. Bandit will come down eventually. And he says, no, let's get it down. It's going to storm tonight. We've been getting a lot of rain here in Nebraska. So we don't want Little Bandit to be out there all night in the rain. So he calls the fire department, and all the sirens started blaring all over town, and they're roaring down the road to the Meri. And boy, am I getting embarrassed. Like, where's the fire? It's just the kitty up a tree, And they come, and of course, they do all their whatever firemen do to get the little kitty down the tree. And they get him down, and boy, that little kitty, he's scared. Bandit is just shaking and shivering, and the fireman brings him down and puts him on the ground, and boy, he runs right over to Petals and Dreams. He runs right over to Petal and Dream and jumps right up in her arms and just kind of looks at her like, will you take care of me next week, please? I promise I won't climb any more trees, please. And Petals, of course, just melts her heart. She says, of course. And so the crisis is over with. We had to call the fire department. Oh, the sirens just embarrassed me. I mean, here are all these big fire trucks coming down the road in our little town. And you know how small towns are. Where's the fire? The whole town gathers around to find out where the fire is. And it's just Little Bandit who was chased by a Chihuahua dog and ran up a tree. I couldn't get back down again. We love our Little Bandit, don't we? We would call it Fibsville? Janet? All right. Well, Janet won the prize. I love Fibsville. Fibsville, for Friends in a Boxville. Fibsville. I love it. Fibsville. I love it. So the town is going to call Fibsville. We won't have a list for that one, Janet. Or Atelierville. I like Fibsville. I love Fibsville because Friends in a Box. We should put hashtag Fibsville. Maybe I'll say that hashtag, or maybe I won't. We'll see. But I do love that, Janet. Very creative. Thank you. Fibsville. It sounds like everybody there is telling a fib. I love it, Janet. I just love it. Fibsville probably would fit some of the small towns in Nebraska, not only because, of some tall tales that go around, but also because of the Friends in the Box. Small towns have a lot of friendly people in them. I would like to think our town has a friendly atmosphere, but I don't have a lot of friends right here because I grew up and I moved away in real life. I grew up and moved away, and I'm still kind of making friends. But let me tell you, in real life, this is going away from our story. I might use it sometime in a story. In real life, this afternoon, I had some letters to mail, some bills and stuff like that, a birthday card to mail out. And I went to the post office in real life. This is a real life story. We're veering off from our little Meri mystery story. But I went in and I got her mail. I mailed my letters, and I got our mail. We have a local P.O. box at the post office. And I came back out, and there was a man that came out in front of me, friendly fellow. And there was this big friendly dog. And he said, hello, dog. And the dog was kind of running, but the dog didn't look like he belonged to him. And I have to go down, I come out the door and kind of go down some steps. Well, there's also a handicapped slanted sidewalk that way, but I decided to take the steps, and I was watching that man talk to the dog. I missed the first step. And I didn't fall hard, but I did fall. I kind of twisted my ankle lightly, but not bad, because I knew I was falling, and there's a handrail there, and I grabbed on the handrail, and it I kind of steadied myself. I twisted my ankle a little. I could still walk on it. But of course, the guy the man right away said, "Did you fall?" And of course I was on the ground. I was on the step, and I said, "Oh, I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. Oh, I've got to report this," and he went in and he reported it to our postmaster in real life. This happened in real life just this afternoon. And of course, she and another lady come running out. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And of course, my shoe fell off because I just had a loafer shoe on, and it fell off and fell down to the bottom step. And she grabbed my shoe and she was going to put it on. I said, "No, I can put my shoe on. You don't have to put my shoe on my foot." Kind of embarrasses you when that happens. And, but I do think that people in the smaller towns if they aren't friendly, they want to be friendly. In larger cities, you have to be a little bit more cautious because you don't know who you're talking to and why. And I think larger city people want to be friendly, and there are a lot of friendly people in the larger cities. I liked Madison. I liked living in Madison a lot, but it's a little bit different in small town America. And that's kind of like Phibbsville is. We all know each other. And when the sirens go off, everybody comes to see the fire. And of course, I'm sitting there in my story with a red face because Little Bandit ran up a tree. But Little Bandit, to be honest, Little Bandit was being chased by that little Chihuahua dog. He broke out of his leash and, broke the leash, saw the cat and took out after it. And of course, Little Bandit ran up a tree and went so high that he couldn't get back down again. So I learned two things from researching that story. I learned that cats have to back down the tree if they're going down. They can't go head first, like they go head first up, but they can't go head first down. They don't have the same balance. If your cat does, well, then it's a talented cat, according to the internet. The other thing I learned was nowadays fire departments do not necessarily, especially in the larger cities, answer a call to get a cat out of a tree. They won't come. So in our small town in Phibbsville, they come. So after I got all over that embarrassment, we all went in, and today was not a day where we're working on a project. This was a bring your own, BYOA. That's what I'm calling it. Bring your own art day. Bring your own art projects. Sit down, work on it. Aunt Becca's probably making cards or ATCs. Janet's probably doing some jelly printing or working in a journal. Who knows what Beth is doing? Beth does so much. She's probably got 2 or 3 projects. But it's bring your own art day. And so we all decide to go inside and just sit and relax. Janet does have some refreshments for us. We were kind of thinking maybe that criminal would feel guilty and we would get something this week, but silence, nothing. Officer Orville has heard nothing about the lead pencil criminal. He's kind of run into some dead ends. We're kind of hoping that maybe he'll show up or maybe he'll need a lead pencil or something, but it's kind of a cold case right now, but we haven't forgotten him. Well, you kind of missed the story, Steak. I kind of told the story. What happened was Bandit got chased by a little Chihuahua dog up a tree. We had to call the fire department to get him down. And all the sirens went off. And all the small town people had to come downtown and see what was on fire. And that embarrassed Miss Meri. But we all went inside. We're taking good care of Bandit and everything. And we're just kind of lazy. We're just hanging out this week. We're just hanging out. We've all had busy weeks. There's spring cleaning going on. Some of the people had to deal with a lot of rain in their yard. And, Lisa, she's down in Texas, but our fictitious Lisa had to deal with some high winds. Her chimney, she put a plastic bag over her chimney. I get such a kick out of that. I see Lisa's house, her little house with the roof, and she has a chimney up here, and she's got a plastic bag over it. I get a kick out of that picture, Lisa. I kind of chuckled when I read her post about that, the plastic bag over her chimney. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Your chimney is very short now. Oh, it's not that high? Well, I'll kind of shorten it. It's got a plastic bag over it. I got a chuckle out of the plastic bag over her chimney. Yeah. Yeah, we're not in the flooded areas, thank goodness. But in our story, some people got a lot of water in their yards and their sump pumps have been going. Nobody in Phibbsville really lost property to flooding. We were kind of on not dry ground, but it kind of happened around us in Phibbsville. So we're all just kind of in there doing our art. And, you know, little Bandit, he's kind of huddled up with Petal and Dream. Petal said, Meri, I'll take him this week. He's kind of hugging me and everything. He's, you know, and she's giving him lots of attention. She says, I'll take care of him next week for you, Meri. So thank you, Petal, for doing that. Most of it fell off of the roof in the windstorm. Lisa's talking about her chimney. But in our story, little Bandit is kind of like, I'm done for the week, you know. I just want to sit here and get loved, you know. And we're just sitting around, just kind of hanging out. Janet's got coffee and iced tea and soda pop and lemonade and water and probably some cookies and popcorn in there. We're just kind of hanging out doing our art. And but Bandit all of a sudden jumps out of Petal's lap and disappears. When we saw him go, we're going, he's not going outside again, is he? No, he kind of wandered. In this store, there's a balcony area. You know, some of these old stores, if you've ever been in an old store building, especially department stores, you walk in and you have the main area of the department store. But in some of them, there's like a banister area coming down this way, and there's a balcony up in here. And the stairway, underneath of the stairway, is where we first found Bandit, hiding under there. That's why we're calling him Bandit. That happened in, what, chapter 2? Well, and Bandit, we saw him run up here. Now, this balcony up here, this balcony in this store, somebody walled all there. You still have the walkway in there, but somebody walled all this off as it got remodeled. We know that there's some rooms behind there, but the doors have been locked. I haven't been in those doors. I'm real curious. And I know from the outside of the building, if you look at this store front from the outside, you can see some bay windows on the outside. And I know there's some bay windows in there. And I am just dying to get inside of those doors. But we think little Bandit went up that way, and we think that might be where he found that lead pencil with the what was it, PJC, sort of a G. And we think that's belonged to my great-grandfather. Was PJC was they called him PJ. And we think the G stands for like general merchandise or general merchant. And we think that's where that lead pencil come from, was upstairs, but we don't know how he's getting inside of those doors. Bandit is a smart little cat. Well, we think he ran up there. We were not sure, but he disappeared. And we're going, well, he didn't get outside again, did he? Well, no, we don't think he did. So we just kind of sat around. Well, pretty soon Bandit shows up again, and he has something in his mouth. And I go, Bandit, come here. What do you have in your mouth? And let me get my bank book out here. What did I do with my bank book? It's over here. The page is drying. Inside this bank book, I have on one of these pages here, and I'm just going to do this to show you. Well, this one's glued down. I have button cards, but I've got a button card that I can pull out. What Bandit has in his mouth is a button card, a vintage one, a button card. Bandit, where did you get that button card? And I look on that button card, and I got this out too as an example of buttons, because we're going to do a button list. On that button card, let's just draw some circles here for the buttons. On that button card is PJC General Merchandise. We're just going to put that on there. General Merchandise. Well, I'll just scribble it here. And maybe there's a picture of the store on here too. But Bandit, where did you get this? And he brings it right over to Miss Meri like he wants to give it to me, like he wants me to see what he found. And of course, you know, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that he found that button card, and I'm thrilled that it has PJC on it because I know this is an advertising button card that belonged to my great-grandfather and great-grandmother in my story. Now, this is not in true life. My great-grandfather did not run I don't know what he ran. He was probably a farmer or something. I don't know what he did for a living. I'll have to research that in real life. So we're going to do a list here. That's kind of the end of our story. So, you know, in our story, little Bandit seems to be getting in there an awful lot. And in his mouth, he's holding a button card that he brings over to Miss Meri. But he also got in trouble because he climbed this tall tree and he was way up here, and we had to call the fire department, and that embarrassed Meri to no end. So that's kind of the story for this week. I called it the case of the cat. Well, I think they called it the cat crisis. I called it the cat something or other. I got it written down. So Bandit found a mouse hole. I'll bet he did. I'll bet there's a little door in here someplace that a little mouse lives in, or there's some way that Bandit is getting behind these locked doors. He's probably in an air vent or something. We'll call it a mouse hole, but it's probably an air vent, and he's probably getting in there. Good night, Joan. Thanks for coming. So what we're going to do is a list, and our list, and I just scribble these lists. I'll have to go back if I ever make a formal list. It's been a busy week. But we're going to do, for our list, twist the list, we're going to go what to do with not with a button card, but with a bag of buttons. So what would you do? You can start, hi, Maria. Welcome. What are some things that we can do with a bag of buttons? And of course, for doll eyes, okay, start giving me ideas. You guys are great at lists. Nina says you can do buttons for the doll eyes. You can make a bracelet. Oh, that's cool. Or jewelry. Are we brain dead? Has it been that big of a week, or is my phone dead? Sew on a missing button. I'm brain dead. Believe me, it's been a long week. Hobby cards for collectors. It's been a long week. Glued to journal. Oh, here we're coming. Now they're flowing. Glued to journal. Flower centers. Use on cards. I think I heard my brother come in. Closures for journals. Sort by color. That would be fun. In fact, when my mother lived with me toward the end of her life, she had progressive dementia. She was not really bad when she lived with me, but I'd have to work, so I put her to work by sorting. I got all these, I still have them someplace, all these. I have this big box of buttons, just plastic buttons, and she would sit there and she'd sort those all out for me. I still have them. Bandit, sorry. Lisa's the same. Bandit, sorry. Sort by color, make charms. These are some good ideas. Fasten your pants. I love that. That's a good idea. I could see that with something like this. Maybe make a belt or something with them. Let's see, put on tags, keychains. I just like to keep them in a jar. So put in a jar for display. Yeah, I like to see things in those ball jars too. That's a good idea, Auntie Ro. Glue onto a picture frame. Glue onto a jar or can. I'm going to put jar or can. Decorate a small tree. Oh, that would be cute. Decorate a small tree. And you know, you could go as big or as small with that tree as you wanted. Let's see. Bye, Anya. Have a good weekend. A mini wreath with them. Make a mini wreath. Make a bookmark. That's a good idea. Toss in a paper cup game. So toss a paper cup game. That's a good idea. Anya says goodbye. Throw at your brother to get his attention. So throw it, brother. He probably would not appreciate that too much. Sew onto fabric or paper clusters. So put on fabric or paper clusters. That would be fun. Use for snowman eyes and mouth. Snowman eyes and mouth. I think I missed one. Those I said goodnight to Anya. Put on a lop of string and make a spin. Make a toy. Make a spin toy on end of string. Is that good enough? I think. Tina says. Button and string pull toy. So button and string pull toy. And you could do that in miniature too. You could do it, you know, a fairly large one, but you could also do a little miniature one. Make a hairband. Make wall art. Yeah, that would make some fun wall art. Oh, bye, Annie Rowe. Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend. Make Bandit a crochet sweater and add buttons all over the sweater. I wonder if Bandit would chew on those buttons. He brought me the button card. We'll see. We'll see. So make an animal sweater. Make a pet sweater. In our case, it's Bandit. And decorate with buttons. Got to be careful with kids around, though. Feet for a decorative button feet for a box. I like that one. Button feet for an altered box, we'll say. That's a great idea. You know, oh, am I buffering? Is anybody else buffering? Oh, I'm back now. I'm back. Okay, it quit. I'm surprised I haven't been buffering more tonight. Let's see, where was I? Feet for a decorated box. Lots of buttons, string them and make a curtain. Yeah, you could string them. Just let's say you hit the button mother load. String for a curtain, like you would beads. That would be interesting, really. Or you can even make cardboard ones. But you don't have to make a big curtain. You can make a cafe curtain. I kind of like that idea. Glue on a lampshade. Glue on a lampshade. Play button, button. Who's got the button? Now, there's an old game. How would you play that? I don't know how to play it. Button, button. Who's got the button? We'd have to look it up, the rules for that. Somebody's got the button. Who's got the button? Play that game. Glue onto a belt. I like that idea. Small buttons can go on a shaker. Small buttons. You mean like in a shaker card? Small buttons and shaker. Those little tiny ones. That would be fun. Make a tic-tac-toe game. Tic-tac-toe game. Glue together to make a Christmas tree. Glue together for a Christmas tree. That would be neat. Good night, Barb. I think everybody's saying good night to Barb. I was buffering. They say they're good. Nobody's buffering. You're going to have to rewatch. Not. No buffering, no buff, no buff. A button bouquet. That would be pretty. You can make it as large or as small as you wanted. Glue on everything. Maria said, just cover everything in your house with buttons. Glue on everything. Holly says, I missed the doodles. I'm not sure what's being suggested. We are doing a button list. You kind of missed the story, too. You'll have to go back and listen to it. But at the end, Little Bandit finds a vintage button card, and so we're making a list of what to do with buttons. Holly. Let's see. Customize it with pictures or names. So you're going to customize the button. That would be fun to do. If you have a big button like this, you could actually alter that button with vintage pictures, you know, maybe even fill in, maybe put it on a string like this and then let it hang. And you could either glue over this or fill it in with some tissue and put vintage pictures around this. That would be fun to do. Customize the button with pictures or names. Thank you guys for telling Holly. A button necklace. Button eyes. Little button eyes. Make a refrigerator magnets. That's a good idea. That's an excellent idea. Fridge magnets. Use it for Lisa's Pick 10. I'll put Lisa's Pick 10. Well, we could do Aunt Beck's Dirty Dozen too. So Pick 10 games for like making marks. Or even for, what did she call that? What did you call those? Assemblage. Assemblage Pick 10s. So we'll put assemblage Pick 10s. Envelope closure. Yeah, envelope closure. Like the manila envelopes. Glue on an initial. So you glue an initial on it. I could see that happening. Refrigerator magnets. I got that. Button jewelry. Assemblage. Glue on clusters. Cluster. Use on. Paint them in colors. Gold, silver, and copper like coins to teach people how to count money. So we're going to say paint as coins to teach count money game. A door wreath. That's a good idea. Look at everything we can do with these buttons. And I'm going to put a button card because I'm partial to that button card that little bandit brought me. So that's where my heart is going. Create a mosaic. Ooh, that would be cool. A button mosaic by different colors and shapes, maybe. It's not only the color of the button, it's the shape. I've seen all shapes of buttons. You've got hexagon ones, you've got circles, you've got cylinders, you've got big ones. You've got big ones with one little dot in there. Just think of all, they probably have some diamond buttons out there. I don't know, like that maybe. You've got big coat buttons. All kinds of buttons. A door wreath, make a Barbie umbrella. A Barbie umbrella. A button mosaic is a good idea. I need to finish my sentence there. We'll put a star by that. I'll have to go back and star some of these others. Button dolls. I've seen those button dolls. There are several ways to make button dolls. That's a good idea too. Button dolls, you know, you can stack them up like this to make the feet and the body, but you can also make the button doll where you have a big button this way, and then you have your doll shape, kind of like a tassel coming down. You know, you can do all sorts of things with them. Use on toothpicks for bar stools in a miniature dollhouse. So make mini doll furniture. Christmas ornaments. And I'm going to put, you can draw them, you know, just like what I did here, doodle them, draw or doodle them. I kind of doodled them really fast down here, just talking about the different shapes of buttons. Use tiny shank buttons as doorknobs in journals. So shank buttons for closures, for journal closures. And Tanya's not here, but Tanya had a paper clip in her bank book, however the paper clips go, like that. And she put a shank button, she looped it in there, and that shank button sat right up here, kind of. It was really cute. I really like that idea of that. That's kind of like on my bank book, that on the cover, I have some jewelry hanging off of it. Use as a fairy village. So build a fairy village. Button shaker music maker for kids. Yes, a button shaker music maker. Maybe put in a tin can and they can shake it in the tin can. Kids would like that. Music toy. Use as decor for terrarium. That's a good one. Either, a terrarium, like a plant terrarium in there. Trade them among Fibsville. Oh, yeah, trade them. Trade the buttons with the fibs. In Fibsville, we now have the town of Fibsville. In honor of Janet. Janet named our town tonight, Fibsville. Fibsville for Friends in a Box, which kind of goes with the atelier. You know, you can think of the store as, it's not really a box shape, but you can think of it as being a box where all the friends go on Saturday afternoons just to hang out. This week, they just brought their own art. Good night, Janet. Have a great weekend. I'll probably see you sometime over the weekend. I'll probably see you on Facebook. Sleep well, my lady. Thanks for being here. Use in vases. That's a good idea. There's everybody saying goodnight to Janet. We need to have a button swap. A button swap. What a great idea, Lisa. I'll leave the swapping up to you, Tanya, and Beck. A button swap would be fun, wouldn't it? Have a button swap, or even have a swap with some things that you've made with buttons. I'll let you guys handle the swaps. Ending for a string on an old lamp. So tie on a lamp string or a light fixture. That's a great idea too. Or light fixture. On my light up here, up over that way, I have kind of like an open, I don't have the shade on it, but it's got two lights going out this way. And boy, am I lagging there. Well, I don't have my red dot. There I go. But it has two chains coming down. I could see gluing a button on those chains. Make a lamp pole. That's what it is, a lamp pole. Janet said good night. That would be cool, Lisa. I don't have a lot of buttons, though. Nothing special. You don't have to have special buttons. Plastic buttons. Circular buttons. You have medium ones. You have ones that have little holes in them. You have even those plastic shank buttons. They sometimes can be very pretty. Look at these. What's special about these buttons? Tell me what's special about these buttons. They're actually plastic. They're shank buttons here, but you put them on a card. It's missing a button here. This is just a vintage button card, but you put a pretty little ribbon on it. You could decorate the back of it and leave this alone. You know, it's got 15 cents for this. I don't think it has a date on it, but how fun. Tie on string for a window shade. So a window pull, a window shade pull. Gosh, look at this. We filled up one page here and a half here, and we're still going. Use them for stamping. Use for stamping. Tie on a string and put a ceiling fan to dry the cat nuts. So a ceiling fan, pull, and we're going to put cat crazy. Drive the cat crazy. Drive the cat crazy. Make a button spinner toy. One thing about buttons, you have to be careful if you have small kids around or maybe pets who might put them in their mouth. You have to keep them away from the kids. They're saying goodnight to Janet. Lisa said, don't fret about it, Holly. Just send some of what you have. The point is to share and have something new. Yes, that is a very good point. And Holly, you would do such beautiful art that if you put it on something like this, just plain buttons, and drew a doodle or something on the back, there you go. Anybody would love to have that. Decorate clusters. How many would you send? I'll let Lisa determine all that. Distress them to make vintage. Patricia. Hi, Patricia Stubbs. I didn't see you come in. Distress the buttons to make vintage. So she's saying make vintage buttons. Take your newer buttons like this that may look pretty and everything and distress them to make them look vintage. That would be fun. That's a great idea. I like that idea. And hello, Patricia Stubbs. Decorate gloves. I would love a button swap. Well, there you go, Lisa. You got some players. I might play with that. button swap, Lisa. Make sure I get signed up. I'm going to have to watch your swap, see when you do it. I'm trying to get caught up with my mailing. I'm trying not to participate in swaps until I get caught up. I have, I want to send out, we got Best Scrapman done. I'm getting motivated to work on Anne's Snow Globe. I'm not quite there, but I'm getting motivated. I about pulled it out this week. I have a package that I need to mail to Barb Fillion, and I have the packets of snow globe prints that I need to mail out, and I have some trims that I need to mail out. So I have several things that I need to get caught up on, so I'm trying to back off of swaps, but I might participate in a button swap. Lisa said she doesn't know yet about the swap. We might send a few, or you can have multiple partners if you wish. Well, let's call this an end to the swap. You guys gave us a lot of great ideas. So when you're looking through your buttons, look what you can do. Look what you can do. Great ideas. And there's probably, as you think about it, there would be a lot more that you could do. Lisa says, I've decided to open a few more spots in my Facebook group. If you are one of my subscribers, just go to one of my videos and look in the description box and send me an email if you want to join. Lisa and Aunt Beck and Tanya all do Facebook groups. I don't do a group because I just don't think I would do it justice. I get overwhelmed with my mailing and my art. There's only so much I can handle. And but Lisa, Tanya, and Aunt Beck all do Facebook groups, and Lisa says she's deciding to open up her group for a few more spots in her Facebook group. So if you're interested, get a hold of her. She says go to one of her videos and look in the description box and send her an email if you want to join. And then she'll send you an invitation. Sharon says that would be fun, Lisa. And you have to friend her on Facebook so she can send you an invitation. Teresa says, me, Lisa. So there you go, Lisa. You got some takers. So thank you guys for this great list. I hope you enjoyed the story of all the sirens. That kitty ran up the highest branch on the tree, and he couldn't get down. That Chihuahua dog was after him. The little Chihuahua dog was chasing him up a tree. Dogs can't climb trees. So, and then after he came in and he just kind of sat pedal in Dream's lap until he got till he kind of settled down. Then he wandered up the steps here, and we're thinking he might have gotten into this blocked off room of doors. There's several doors up here. This is an old store building, and this is a balcony. And we're kind of sitting in this area here. And think of an old store with all the oak cabinets, how like they used to have in department stores, if you've ever been in them. And you know what's up here, guys? Do you know what's up here in our store? There's a tin roof. There's a tin roof. Have you ever been in old store buildings where they have the old tin tiles? Oh, I'm going to have to Google some pictures of old tin tiles and do some doodles off of them. There's a tin roof in this tin ceiling, tiled tin roof up here. And think of the old oak cabinets. So we don't have a lot of furniture going on. There's a kitchenette back in here. And we had kind of the table area in here that we set up. And then we just have chairs in here for now where we just kind of meet. There's a lot of open space in here where we have a lot of room to set up tables and do art. We love all this open space. And there's a lot of wall space. There's a lot of wall space where we can hang our art or display books or whatever we want to do. There we go. All right, so I'm going to close this out. I hope you enjoyed the story. Let's put these back in my bank book. Thank you for the button list. That I might make a formal list out of that. You might be seeing more of that. That was just inspiring. Where's my bank book? Here. Let's put these back in my bank book so I don't lose them, because you know how I like to lose things here. Let's see. let's put a couple of these markers that I grabbed out. I think I opened 2 packages here. Let's put those, and my blue one, and my pink one, and my silver one, and my purple highlighter, and my, well, let's put these metallic ones in there too. I get so much stuff, I'm going to have another box here for my pins. But some of these pins are getting dry. I've had them for several months, so I'm going to have to go through and either rejuvenate them or toss them. Go to Walmart again. So let's put the button card in here. That went on 1 page in here. Let's put my phone over here so I don't drop it. I was constantly dropping my phone. When was that? I dropped my phone. I don't know if was it in my live stream the other day? I put my button card in this little origami pocket that Jerry taught us how to do, the little origami pocket. So that's where I put my button card. And I went ahead and I collaged this down. So probably right in here, I'll put a little note in here about what this bank book is all about. And then it'll be done, and I'll do a flip of it next week. So let's put the closure on it. Kind of goes like that. Make sure that it's not conflicting with anything. I love this bank book. I just love it. I don't have much on the back, but it doesn't really need much more. All right. So the other thing I wanted to do tonight was, on Tuesday night, the 26th is coming up here. Today's the 27th. Is it next Tuesday night? We're doing the second hangout, the second and last hangout for our tubes book. Our tubes book. And of course, where are my tubes? Here they are. Now I made, when Aunt Beck did she did a live stream where she showed Janet. She was showing Janet how to soak these. And so I actually soaked these like Janet did. And I actually had them soaking when Aunt Beck soaked them. And she was showing Janet how to make the little image transfers. Now this was a note card, a notepad. Here's the notepad. I got it at Michael's several years ago, and I brought it home with me. See, I have 1 sheet left here, 1 sheet, but I tore the pictures off, and all of these are peacocks sitting on a couch. That's a peacock there sitting on a couch, and here they are. And I made transfers, image transfers. So I am going to take these, and I'm just going to use my glue stick, I think, and I'm not going to decorate my tags. The tags will be for Tuesday night. But what I want to decorate is, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And let's see, for Tanya's, I'm going to need 2 there and these for Tanya's. And then someplace in here, I have Lisa's open door one. I got 2 tags there. I might use this on, let's use those over here on Tanya's. So those will be Tanya's, and Lisa's is in here where I have a open door. One that opens like Lisa's does. Here, Lisa's has little doors that open. So I'm going to save those out. I'll put those there. Now I have, what did I count? 14. I have 1, 2, 3. That's a little one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I actually could do front and back, but we'll see how they go. What I'm going to do is use my glue stick, hopefully, and I'm going to take one of these, and I'm thinking on the back. So let's put that there for a minute. Let's open this up. I'm going to have to choose a front and a back here. I think this will be the front, and this will be the back. And I'm going to find a spot to glue this image down like that. Should I zoom in a little so you can see it a little better? Let's zoom in. Oops. What did I do? Are you guys there? Oh, I started my Explorer. I didn't want that. Let's close my Explorer out. Come on. Yeah. I want my window. Let's close that out. There. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm having issues with my laptop over here. I'm talking to my laptop. I want to go to my, oops. There. I want to zoom in. So what did I do? I opened the Explorer again. Geez, Meri. Close that out. I'm using Chrome. I want to open my camera and zoom in. Now, am I in? Let's see. Yeah, I think I zoomed in enough. So this is how it's going to look. This is the image transfer. You can see it better on a plain piece of paper. But I'm going to put other images on here. I'm going to put bicycle images there. But I want to put these peacocks on the back of these. So maybe right in there, and then I'll trim this part off. So that's what I'm going to do right now while we're talking. And I'm hoping that this glue stick will hold it enough. I think Aunt Beck used, did you use gel medium? I think Aunt Beck used gel medium to glue her transfers on. Hi, Lynn. Good night, Holly. Rest well. Have a great weekend. So we'll just kind of glue it down. I might have to go back and make sure that they're on there good. Let's trim the tape off here. And at least I'll have the outside ones decorated. And I might do something with my fine line paint applicator on the front, but I'll save that for last. We're going to bind it. We're going to bind it next Tuesday night. Let's talk about that. Next Tuesday night, March 26th at, is it next Tuesday night? March 26th on Lisa, My Eclectic Life, her channel. Oh, Becky said good night. Okay, thanks, Patricia. Good night, Becky. Have a great week. Next Tuesday night on Lisa, My Eclectic Life, we're going to do another hangout. And Tuesday nights, I will be the silent partner because my brother watches wrestling on Tuesday nights, and I don't want to take away his wrestling night, make him be quiet just because I want to hang out. I talk enough during the week. Oh, there she is. Hi, Aunt Beck. Thanks for popping back in. Gel medium is what you used. Well, you know what? I have some right in here someplace. Oh, I have Yes Paste. Where's my gel medium? Right here. Maybe I'll use gel medium because I have it here. I only use it for special things like this. So I'm not sure I'm trusting this glue stick. So let's glue that one on. I have to decide what I want for the front and the back. This will be the back and this will be the front, which makes sense. So, and it'll flip this way. So I want to put my peacock right here. And I think I'm just going to put some gel medium out on the wax paper here, and hopefully it won't run. And then I'm going to spread some on here. And then when I pull this up, I'll put some on the back. And I don't have all the paper off of this, but since the paper of my notepad was cream and the paper that it's going down on is yellow, it will kind of fade right in. So I'm going to put this one right here. And Aunt Beck, if you need to go again, you have a great weekend. Everybody who needs to go, just have a great weekend. I'm just finishing up with these. It's getting to be almost 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Some of those gals had big weeks. We had a big week in Phibbsville this past week. It's been an active week, and the ladies are tired. I don't know what that one was. Let's see. I saved these out. So I think I can use this one's done and this one's done. So this will probably be the back and this will be the front. Let's open it up a little. They kind of still stick in there. But maybe when I get my tag in there, it won't stick so much. So if I open it this way, do I want to put it this way? I want to put it this way, flip it that way, and I'll put my peacock right in there. If I can get him off of this wax paper. And here he comes. Come on, little peacock. There you go. And I'm just using my finger to put it on here. And on the back of this, I'm just using my finger as if I were gluing it down. I might have to go back and repair it some, but we'll deal with that. Let's put my peacock right in there. Maybe over a little bit more so his head will not conflict with that mark there. And this will be the back pages of my tube book. Because it'll open this way and then it'll flip. Oops, I got that wrong. It'll open this way and flip this way. So that'll go there. And got to decide. See, these are still kind of sticking together. They're not wet sticky. But I don't know if I've opened them up since I painted them. Have I? Okay, this one goes this way. And it flips that way. So, but it should flip this way. So that's okay to have it that way. Oh, I need to center this a little more. This way and flip this way. And we'll put my peacock right in there. Kind of using my palette knife to get underneath of this tape. It'll peel off once I get a hold of it. I need to get a hold of it. Put it on my hand there and just kind of put some gel medium on here. And put some gel medium on the back of this. Maybe some more. Yeah, I only use my gel medium for special things because it's so expensive. For most of what I do, I just use my Elmer's glue. Let's put him down. Well, we should put him over a little bit more. Maybe more like that. We won't have to trim him off any. Just like that. Can you see him there? My peacock on the couch. Well, I might have to trim him a little. I might have to go back and make sure everything's glued down, but I'll do that before Tuesday. And that will be at 7 p.m. Lisa at My Eclectic Life next Tuesday. We're going to do our hangout, and I think it's at 7 p.m. Am I right, Lisa? Tell him hi when he gets out, Becky. Oh, Scott's home and is hopping in the tub. Okay. We like Scott. Becky did a very interesting video of the water towers in her area. That was fun to see, Beck. Let's see, that peacock is not the best. Let's get one that has his head all on him. Has his whole head. Has his head together. I have to laugh because on some of these peacocks, I was beheading him. I'm going, don't behead the peacock, Mary. Okay, let's open this one up. I'll have to make sure all of these are unstuck for Tuesday night. Okay, I think I want this to be the front and flip it over this way, and I'll put my peacock right in here. And this is the back of my image transfer, and I'm just spreading gel medium on it. And let's put him right in there. I think you kind of lose the sense of his head there, but he's there. He's got his head. And we'll have to kind of trim this guy off a little. So I'm almost done here. I got one went over the cliff. I'll have to get it out later. I got 4 left, 4.5 one. One went over the cliff. So this will be the front. I'll flip it there, and this will be the back, and I'll put my peacock right in there. Let's get one out that has his head. Peacock has to have a head. Let's put some gel medium on him. And let's put some gel medium on the back. And I'm just doing this with my finger. I'll probably have a second skin when I'm done. And let's put him right in here, maybe. Right in there. So you can see him. I could put some buttons on these, couldn't I? Get some I'm sure that I've got some black buttons that I can put on here. I could put buttons in between the Aunt Beck put little spacers in between her pages so that the book would not fan out. I think I'll put some buttons on. I think I'll get some black. I think I got black buttons. I'll have to hunt them up and put black buttons on these tube tag books pages. The one that went over the cliff was one I already had the peacock on, so I'm not going to worry about him till afterwards. Let's put some medium on here. Let's get one out. He's kind of losing his head. He has his head. He has his head, but he really got his head. Well, I want to get good ones for my tube book. I was doing these while Aunt Beck was showing Janet how to do image transfers. I was sitting there following along with Aunt Beck, and I was doing my image transfers while she was showing Janet. It was kind of fun to work along with you, Aunt Beck. I don't think you knew I was doing that. I was out in the kitchen. I was baking those shortbread cookies, I think. So I was in the kitchen while my cookies were baking. I was watching Aunt Beck and rubbing the back off of these image transfers. He goes right in there. Is that good? Yeah, it'll flip this way. Black buttons would be ideal for this. Black buttons. Or even dark blue ones or bright blue ones to add a little color to it would be pretty. I got 2 more. 2 more, ladies, and then I'll call it quits. Let's pull this one off. I don't know if you can see it. I'm way down below. If I can get it off here. It's the bottom one. Pull it off of the paper right here. Let's open my page. See, I put gesso and I painted the inside too. And I painted it. I don't know. I might have to, I don't want to put any more. I might have to just put some baby powder in there because it kind of sticks. But we'll see. It could just be sticking from the last painting. I haven't opened it up yet. So, ooh, which side do I want here? One is as good as the other one for the back. I think I like this one for the back and this one for the front. I'll put some buttons on in here. So we'll flip it this way. Actually, no, I'm going to stick with this for the back. Put some gel medium on this. Put some gel medium on this. Right in here. Got a lot of space for him. I got one more. There we go. One more. Let's open it up. Oh, that has to be the front. And this is the back. Or should I make that the back? Now, I think that will be the back, and I'll put my peacock in there. So let me get a peacock. some gel medium on this side. Put a little gel medium on here. And let's put him right down in. I'm going to have to kind of let him go off to the side, I think, in order for him to show. But that's okay. We'll put it right like that. This is the last one other than Tanya's and Lisa's, which I'm going to save these others for and figure out where they're going to go when I decorate them. You can see them right there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the one that fell over the cliff was 9 with just the peacocks. This will be the front. I'll have to put some, I mean, this is the front here. I'll have to put something on the front. But I want the backs to be all peacocks. You know what would be fun? And I might do that maybe over the weekend, put some journaling words on here. Do them with image transfers. Look in the magazine and get some words and make some package transfers with words and put across there maybe big bold words. Maybe smear some white paint across there. This might be okay here, but put big words on the front here. So I might get those ready this weekend. This is the door for Lisa's. Mine will open up this way, and I'll have something in here. I'll have a tag in there. Maybe put a journaling word on the and then these will be Tanya's right here. I might put another peacock on one of these, but we'll leave it there for now. And then these over here, I got them all ready to go. These are the tags that will fit on the inside, and then we'll have closures, or not closures, pull tags. And pull tags on one side, and then on here we'll have the close, the end for the binder. Of course, I have to trim that down a little bit more for it to fit in here. But I'll have to make all these the same size. So there's where I am on my tube book. I'm happy with my peacock note cards. So that's what I did tonight. I have a lot of other things I want to do. I have a stamp that I'm carving for Jerry that needs to be done. I have a scavenger page I want to do. I want to work on my ATCs. I want to do some die cuts for my Angel Pay book. I got Beth's Scrapman done, but I got to get it mailed. So there you go. I've got a lot going. But how I enjoy the art. I'm just going to, well, let's see. Hold a minute here. Let's grab this paper towel and wipe my gel medium. I only use my gel medium for special projects. Let's zoom out again here. Let me zoom out again. Without opening Explorer. One more time. There. I want to wipe up this gel medium because I want to fold this page. Actually, I should cut it there. I got gel medium up here too. Let's kind of wipe it up. And let me fold it this way. Because I'll be wanting to rescue these peacocks. I'll either put them in my journal or on other cards. Other tags for my book. So there's that. Let me reach. Come on. Let me reach. I'm reaching. We did our list tonight of what to do with a bag of buttons. Wherever my list is here. Boy, do I scribble. Do I scribble. What to do with a bag of buttons. We did that. I showed you my, we worked in my angel book. We did reverse collage in my angel book. I showed you a little bit of my thrift haul. I collaged on my bank book. Collaged the first page to get it started. And we did Doodle Game 10 tonight. Wow! For goodness sakes, that's a lot of work. And I still got more to do. And I still got more to do. But how fun. How fun it is to do all of this. Busy bee. Let's catch up with chat, and then I'll tell you all good night, because on the East Coast, it's 12 o'clock. Need buttons for that one. Are you talking about my tube book, Lisa? The L's are tired tonight, Holly says. The L's must be Lynn. Lynn J. and Lynn Wright. Looks good, Mary. I kind of took a nap, Lynn said. Well, that's okay. I took a nap after I got home from urban sketching this afternoon. I woke up just a little bit after 7. I might have slept through my stream. Something woke me up. A YouTube glitch? Mary, our mail is coming. Oh, shit. Oh, am I buffering? Are you guys buffering? I buffered just a little. I better hurry up and close this. Thank you, Sharon. I wasn't expecting anything. But thank you. You just take your time. I get all sorts of happy mail from you guys. Makes me feel guilty. But I love it. I've been putting my happy mail in my art journal, and I really like it because when I flip through my pages, like here with Nana Mo, I think of Nana Mo every time I see that page. Oops. Lisa says, the screen went black and said, there's been an error. Try back later. I must have lost connection for a little bit. Huh. Teresa says she gets error messages all the time. Oh, I refreshed and all is well. Must have been a glitch in there. Well, I'm glad not everybody had the error. Some of you got error messages tonight. I didn't notice that with mine, but YouTube's been weird, I'll tell you. My stream the other morning was all blurry. It was just blurry. They said, Mary, you're blurred. It didn't look blurry to me, but it was blurry. And even when I went back after I closed everything out, processing was horrible. And then Aunt Beck did her pick 10, and I followed along with Aunt Beck's pick 10, and I filmed it. It was complete blur. So it's just a weird internet day. Oh, Aunt Beck must be traveling, because Teresa says, take your supplies and laptop with you, Becky. Enjoy it while you're in your motel room. Lynn says, important art terms, over the cliff, missing its head and rubbing the back off. Oh, Lynn, that's funny. Important art terms, over the cliff, missing its head and rubbing the back off. I don't know if you noticed it the other day, Lynn. I don't know if you were in here, but I was making that scrap bin tag or the page for Beth. And on the back, I kind of had a little rip or tear or mark. And so I took my tea bag and I cut off the end of it. And the tea bag, I didn't notice it till I glued it down, but it said, lift here, right on his backside. It said, lift here on the tea bag. I got such a kick out of that. But it's glued down on her page. She knows it's there, but it was so funny to see it. Let's see, what else are you guys saying to me? I'm glad that you were closing so quickly. Aunt Beck said, we are closing on our land sale that day in Rock Hill, several hours away. I'm just hoping that we're back home in time on Tuesday so she can finish up her TP row book. Well, Aunt Beck, if you're still in here and if you're hearing that, you just do what you need to do to get what's important done. Everything else, the play is play. The videos will be here. I'm talking for Lisa and Tanya now. But what's important is that that's important to get your closing done. And then you can play and have fun. So if you don't make it, don't stress out over it. I'll be quiet that night. I can't talk until 9 o'clock that night. Let's see. Sharon says, I wax the edges of my tags so they slip in and out easily. Thank you, Sharon. I will remember that. How are you going to bind them? I'm going to bind my tags. I'm hoping, I'm going to put these little, this is that belt buckle, that leather belt buckle that has segments that I'm cutting in half. And I'm hoping to be able to bind them through these little loops that are, I don't know if you can see the little punches in here. The little floral punches. And you can't see them too well. There's little, there you see them. I'm hoping to be able to bind them through those little punches. There's one on each side there. I'm hoping to be able to bind them across this way, sort of like a one pamphlet binding stitch. Or I could go from there to there to there and bind them that way. We'll see. I'm still figuring that out. I almost bought some leather thread or some suede thread, but I thought, no, I think I'll just use my crochet thread, double my crochet thread, and thread it through there. But I might put a button in between the rows as a spacer to keep them even. I think Aunt Beck did that with cardboard on hers. So that's what I'm planning, Lisa, if you're still in here. So I think I'm caught up with chat. Old-fashioned unders. Yeah, that's what it was. Old-fashioned undies. Long johns. Trap door for the outhouse. Okay, Sharon went off to bed. That's where we're heading any minute now. Lisa had to say goodnight. Aunt Becca's doing a day trip for their closing. I'm so glad they closed on their property. So I'm caught up with chat. Thank you all for coming. I love Friday nights when we just hang out and do our art. Don't forget that there's a hashtag Spring Hop video. I got to go watch videos going on today. And also Denia at the art bar, they did a live stream hop today. So there'll be replays to watch there. You can watch videos all weekend. I probably will not do an impromptu tomorrow. I'm pretty well. I need to relax. I might do one Sunday morning, but maybe not because I like to keep Sunday mornings free. And then Tanya comes on at 12 noon on Sunday for her Totally Junk Journal. If you know, Monica Moran does her Creative Online Gathering, if you're aware of that. I like to go to that. She's doing that Sunday afternoon, so I'm going to split my time between Tanya and Monica's on Sunday. And then next Monday night, Lisa streams. Of course, Dee Dee Willingham streams on Monday mornings. And I'll probably do an impromptu Monday morning. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Get your rest. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your community. Take care of the little kitty cats. Don't let the Chihuahua dogs chase them up a tree. And if you have a little time, take it and do some art. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Have a great weekend.